Hello, my galactic soul family. Welcome back. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Put some lip gloss on my dry ass lips. So, I know it's been a minute since I've done a video. This is going to be a long video, you guys. So I hope you are prepared. Save this. Come back to it later when you have time to listen. Put some headphones in. Clean the house. Lay down, rest, go for a walk. That's what I do when I listen to some of my favorite YouTube creators. So, what I wanted to share with you guys really quick, the intro is going to be like mad long. This whole video is probably going to be like 2 hours long. I received a download on March 4th, 2023. And in this video, I'm going to reference a few of my favorite spiritual teachers. And also this video that I'm sharing with you guys was originally about a download that I received. It's actually all about the download I received, but when I documented my download, I went in and out of intuitive writing when I was journaling. So I'm going to share with you guys my channeling that came in through intuitive writing. I will try my best to let you know what is my perspective and what came through channeled. Because it's so long and I get on a tangent and I just blah, 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 you know, I just start talking. I don't know if I'll remember, but I just want to hop in and just get this video started. The download that I received on March 4th, I don't know if I could call it a download. It was like a channeling session. First, it came in as a download, like information, like, I don't know. It was like information coming in. And then when I realized this information was coming in, I tuned in and started a channeling session. So the information, this download that came in pieces, and I'm going to tell you guys exactly how it came in. You know, I'm going to try to do word for word when I started. And then when I started to write the content and to document my channeling session, my download, like I said, I went in and out of intuitive writing. So I had to rewrite what I wrote so that I can read it, so I can make sense of it. Because when I'm doing intuitive writing, I'm not thinking what I'm writing. It's just the information is coming into me and my hand is literally just like, and information is just flowing through me. So I don't really know. I mean, at the moment I knew I was conscious of what I was writing, but the information wasn't from, it was from a higher source. So I literally had to go back, rewrite what I wrote and read what I wrote because I needed to put it together to make it make sense. So I had to rewrite what I wrote, and that took some time. I did actually try to record this on March 5th, the very next day. But before I had rewrote it, what came in, I was trying to wing it and just do the video. So I did the video. I was like an hour and 30 minutes in, and then I got through the whole video actually. And I started to do the playback. I just didn't like it because there was a lot of moments where I paused. I didn't, you know, edit anything. I was hemming and hawing. I was like, oh, you know, what am I writing? And I was trying to figure out what I wrote on paper. And then I was like, oh wait, that didn't even make sense, what I said. And the expression of how I said it didn't make sense. So I scrapped the whole video because my handwriting was so sloppy. Now, when I don't know about any of you guys, but when I'm doing intuitive writing, I'm not worried about penmanship, spelling. Everything's just flowing through my hand. All right. And I write in cursive. So it was just really sloppy. So I just rewrote it because I couldn't read my writing. And the video sounded awful, and it didn't flow for me. And then I tried to do this video 3 other times. And every single time I had technical difficulties. The lighting was perfect. My iPhone was perfect. My location was perfect. But yeah, Spirit was like, nope, nope, nope. I was pissed. I was like, all right, universe, like, was this intended for me to get out? Because I felt the feeling that they gave me was get this information out. So I was like, did I misinterpret? And then I had this feeling of, no, you didn't misinterpret. Do it again. So I did it again. And then technical difficulties. So I'm like, listen, universe, let's sit down. Let's talk. Be clear. Tell me what's going on here. Why can't I get this video out if you want me to get this video out? So I know why. A few recordings ago, I was really frustrated, but now I know why. There was a few things that I recorded that were mistranslated. So when I'm channeling, sometimes I feel, sometimes I can see with my third eye, sometimes I'm taken, like I feel like I'm there. And sometimes they just show me pictures of things, and the picture and the feeling that I get, I kind of just have to put it together and make out what that is that they're trying to show me. So there were a few things that I had misinterpreted. So here's the download that inspired me to actually just do this whole video. So I was sitting on the floor doing yoga, stretching, getting ready for bed, ending my night. And as I was sitting there, all of a sudden, this information just came into my head. When electric speeds up, our cells move faster. And I was sitting there, I was like, okay, all right. And then this is the moment I was like, oh, wait a minute. I'm tapped in. So I ask, could this be creating a portal? Is this why the powers that be are saying that we're overpopulated? Now, the questions I asked back with what came into me is because it's referencing something that I had journaled not too long ago about energy cells, portals, and overpopulation. Just so you're wondering where the hell these questions came from. And then I received a response. The response I received was, they're trying to stop 7 billion humans from creating the solar flare. Then all of a sudden, they showed me an image in my mind's eye of everything. I had knowing, like I knew everything within a moment. I seen it all. I felt it all. I was there. I experienced it. And it happened like that. It was so overwhelming. It was so beautiful. It was overwhelming. I wasn't scared. Nothing scary came from this at all. It was a lot happening. There was a few like things that were like, oh my gosh, but it was in the result of all of this was it's going to be okay. Everything is good. And then I sat in silence for about 30 minutes as I took in everything that I was shown and felt, everything that I received. I was shown what the flare would look like. And you always hear people in the spiritual community say that we're a collective, we're putting this information out there for the collective. And now I understand, like I understand what the collective is, but we're literally like the way your brain works with the little sparks of energy, you know, moving across your whole brain system, creating information, is literally what we are as human beings around this whole entire planet. We're like these little energy centers, and we're connected with everyone and everything and all that is. And everything's just functioning. So I was shown what we look like as a collective. And then that's when that feeling of total knowing and understanding of it all just came over every single cell of my body. Then it was like I was overloaded after that feeling of knowing it all and all my cells just filled, like they filled with like emotion. But the emotion, it was like every cell created visions. I don't know how to explain it. It's so hard to articulate something that is almost impossible to explain. It just felt like all of my cells came together and they all held, it's like every little bit of my body held information and it knew everything of everything. And it happened really fast. But I still have memory of it and the feeling of it. And then all of a sudden, everything just went away, leaving me feeling very comfortable. And I had a feeling of not to worry because everything is as it should be. And we are okay. Not we are going to be okay. We are okay. We're already okay. We're okay. We're good. But there is something that we need to play out to get to where we need to be to align. I'm not really sure what it means, like align. I don't know what we're supposed to align with, but I was left with the feeling that to align, we must come in with an alignment with ourself, within ourself, understand ourself, be comfortable with ourself, love ourself, be patient with ourself. Everything was, it started with you, like me, for me, it started like, I have to understand myself. I have to love myself, take care of myself, be patient with myself. And then everything else will be as I am. So if I'm good, everything around me will be good. And if everybody can do that and we can all align, then I feel like that's when the solar flare is going to take place. When we all connect and we all surrender and just accept ourselves for who we are, whatever that means for you and for whoever's watching, because we're all different. We're all here having different experiences. We're on a different path, even though we're all here. It's like we're all on different timelines, simultaneously combining, making it seem like we're interacting with one another, but really we're just interacting with ourselves. I am you, you are me. You're watching yourself. I'm talking to myself, to the void, and you're just watching a version of yourself. Confirmation. So you're just watching a version of yourself. And this information, if you're here, it's because I feel that there's something in this message, in this video, that you needed. It's a puzzle piece of some sort. So you're not here by coincidence. You're not here by mistake. You were guided here. Even if you are being triggered, maybe that's the goal. Being triggered, coded, puzzle piece. You have to figure that out for yourself. But if you're here for a reason. So as I started to write my download down within the next few days, I started to dive into a lot of my favorite teachers, people like John Van Auken, some of his really old videos that I saved in files that I haven't really been interested in until this month. I just dove into his videos. And I was guided to watch a whole bunch of people, actually. Edgar Cayce, John Van Auken, William Henry, just to name a few that I can think of right now. I was guided to these videos, these people to watch as if there was something the universe was trying to show me or to tell me. And then I came across information that resonated with me. Stuff that I didn't understand 10 years ago, I understood a few days ago. And it was a puzzle piece. And it fit into a lot of things that I've questioned. So yeah, it was definitely, the universe guiding me to puzzle pieces. I tell you guys, journal all the time. Journal, 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 and just document everything. If you have favorite creators out there and you have videos that really resonate with you, but you don't really understand them, save them. Because there will be a time in your life, even if it's 10 years down the road, it might make sense. I don't know why, but I have this like tickle on my, just right here on my nose. I'm not like trying to be gross, you guys. I don't know. I'm sitting over the heater. It's not on though. I have a cat. Maybe it's cat hair. Maybe it's the little powers that be, like evil creature dudes trying to fuck with me as I attempt, I'm going to air quote that, attempt to get this video out. Hopefully this is not difficulty number, whatever, 5 or 6 or wherever we're at this point. But something's definitely messing with me. They don't want me to get this info out. But I do have a tickle on my nose. It's really annoying me. I'm not like stuffy or sick or anything. So Earth is a very strange and very unique planet. All kinds of beings and creatures of all kinds come here or want to come here or have been here in the past to experience the magic. And I think that Earth is magical. So they come here to experience the magic, okay, that this planet holds, and the beauty and the energy and the experience of the dimension that is held within this planet and what this planet has to offer, or what the dimension in this planet has to offer. Now, this planet offers duality. Other planets may offer duality. I'm not really sure. I'm not really well versed on other planets. They may or may not offer duality. So Earth offers a very broad spectrum of emotional experiences. And the experiences are extreme. They were not always extreme, but they're extreme now. Earth didn't always offer what it's offering right now. Or we're human beings experiencing, or we're not human beings. Well, we are, but we're souls having a human experience. We're godlings. We're source. We are fractals of source having this human experience. We're having we are these souls having this human experience, and we're exploring kingdoms. We don't always explore Earth. There are many other kingdoms out there in the universe that we have explored. We are energy that likes to explore many different kingdoms. So I read somewhere that it's rare to have a planet with duality like this in this universe, because almost all of the universe is what you would consider unity and love. And even the races that are out there that are not of unity and love, they respect the laws of unity and love in this universe, in this galaxy, in this dimension, on this Earth plane. Well, but we're going to get to that. It's as if you could come here to Earth to experience being love and being the opposite of love. Hate, fear, whatever the opposite of love means to you. We could come here and we could experience that duality freely without being judged, because we agreed to have this experience. There were like a council of elders out there that said, yes, go, explore, experience that. We'll watch you. We'll observe you. Come back, tell us about it. Because not every soul wants to experience duality or experience anything in human form. There are souls out there that are totally content with where they're at and how they're living and how they're vibing. And they want nothing to do with Earth. They want nothing to do with meat sacks. They want nothing to do with the third dimension. And that's respectable. I respect that. You know, now I can honestly say I totally respect that. I totally understand. So we're able to come here and we're able to experience love, and the opposite of love without being judged, but observed by the watchers. It's as if Earth turned into a universe experiment of emotions, or extreme emotions of love and hate. And the beings that are not of unity and love, that respect, you know, those galactic laws or whatever, seen an opportunity here by coming into Earth at one point. And I feel like they decided to take control and abuse the learning opportunity that we were given as free sovereign souls, free will upon entering. Some of that was channeled information. Some of that was my perspective. We came here to Earth to have a human experience with our power, to have a learning experience with our power, consciously aware of our power. When we came to Earth, it was originally an experience of just duality, but not fear, just duality, love and the opposite of love, not fear. I know that fear is the opposite of love right now, fear, hate, but there was nothing to fear because we were consciously here, consciously aware of our power, who we are, where we came from. There was no amnesia. So we had nothing to fear. So we came here to have all of those experiences of duality, but not fear, and not to be brainwashed or controlled, or to have no conscious awareness of our power. Like, we were always supposed to have conscious awareness of our power. We weren't supposed to come in and forget that we have power. It was supposed to be just an experience in human form. That's it. Just to experience all of this in human form. And then jet back out. You know, we came here to feel. Then over time, I feel that souls wanted to intensify this experience down here. Intensify this feeling, because it was just, after so many, I don't know, years and years and maybe even eons, it just was like, you're going to go to Earth to have a human experience? Pfft, been there, done that. You know, it's kind of like, it's boring. Earth is boring. So Earth became like boring. This is what I feel. Earth became boring. So a lot of souls said, you know what? It'd be better if we could, you know, change the game or create a game. I don't think there was a game before it. I feel like they created a game and wanted to intensify the feeling. That's what I felt. They wanted to intensify the feeling and create a game because it was just way too easy to be here. So a game was created. By who? The powers that be. The ones that came in here that were not of unity and love. They seen the perfect opportunity and they took it. Of course, we helped the souls that came in. And the non-loving beings tricked us. They tricked us to play their game. They created the rules and they don't even play by the rules. They still don't even play by the rules. It's so frustrating. We're in a game and they're cheaters. So a duality game was created and we volunteered to play it. We're like, we'll go to Earth. Sign me up. I'm in there. Put me in a meat flesh suit with bones, ligaments, blood, eyeballs, hair, teeth. Sign me up. I'm down to play. Oh, it's still hot. So we signed up to play the game of duality and everything that it had to offer, like intense extreme duality. And the catch to play this game was to not remember. You had to come in with amnesia. So you couldn't remember who you are or what you are. You had to forget that you are powerful. The goal was to not fall into fear or to become brainwashed in all that this game had to offer, in the extremes that it held in this dimension. We all came in and we forgot who we are because of amnesia that we agreed to. And when we came in, we gave away our power unknowingly because we don't know who we are, because we forgot, because of amnesia. We became brainwashed and manipulated, and we gave ourselves identities, multiple identities, and we fell into fear freely. And because we are powerful creators, but we just don't remember that we are, but because we are powerful creators, I feel that we created a lot of timelines and a lot of unreal, real situations. We created stuff out of fear, creating the mess that we're in today. We've given our power to fear. These powers that be, that created this game, this new game, they feed off of this fear that we create. It keeps them going. They harvest it from us. I feel like there were certain beings that came in that created this game. And then, but they weren't just the only beings that came in. So I don't really know who these beings are. When I ask the question, who are the powers that be? I always hear archons being yelled over in my left ear. Archons. I never ever heard anybody talk about archons until Ishmael Perez. When I was listening to him speak in a conference and he mentioned archons, I dropped everything that I was doing and I was like, wait, what? It's real? It's real? To this day, I don't think I've ever seen a picture. I've tried to Google what an archon would look like, and I don't think I've ever found an image. I feel like, I don't even know if I dreamt this or if I'm making this up or if I'm just creating this in my mind, but I feel like Dr. Greer, I think that's his name. I feel like he's said something about archons looking like spiders. Maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was somebody else. I really just don't know. But I have this fear of spiders, like fear of spiders. I was on the Queens Bridge in Queens, New York. I don't remember the bridge, but I think it's called the Queens Bridge. I don't know. I forget. I haven't lived there in so long. I freaking forgot. It was in Far Rockaway. I was coming up to the teller, to the booth, and because we were moving to Manhattan, and we had a moving truck, and I hear, and I was just like, what was that? And I'm like looking around, and there's this huge, now when I say huge, it was like that big. That's pretty big for me. That's huge in my brain. That's like this big. This furry black spider was on the steering wheel. Ah! I slammed that big ass truck into like a brake park. I jumped out. The lady comes out of her little booth, get back in the car, get back in the car. You're going to get arrested. And I was like, arrest me. I don't care. I'm not getting in that truck. There's a spider in there. Everybody that was like, you know, in line waiting to cross the bridge, they must have thought I was a nut job. But I mean, New York is full of people that seem like nut jobs, so I'm sure they're used to it. I wouldn't get in. I was looking for my husband. I'm like going down all the cars, like, where is he? Where is he? Because we're trading vehicles. And he gets out. He's like, what the fuck's going on? And I'm like, there's a spider. It's this big. So I wouldn't get in the truck. So I was like, I'm going to drive the car. You can drive the truck because I don't know where it's at. And I don't want anything that belongs to me, my purse, my bag, anything. You can toss it away until you find that spider. He gets in and we traded vehicles. But anyways, the reason why I shared that crazy, stupid story is because I always feel like I'm under attack when I see a spider, and it can literally be this big, like that big. And I just feel like I'm being invaded. I feel attacked. I feel threatened. And I feel this fear. Like, I don't even fear spirit activity, like poltergeist activity, when I experience it around my house. And I've had weird stuff happen because I've shared it on video, and I still have it on one of those little tabs on YouTube somewhere, of things literally sliding across the counter, flying off the shelves, little orbs flying around me. I don't fear that stuff. Not like I fear spiders. When I see spiders, when I see spiders, sorry, I'm going to answer my husband. When I see spiders, I have this like crazy fear in the pit of my stomach, like a vomit fear, hair sticking up on your neck. The way people are afraid of spirits is the way I fear spiders. I feel like I'm under attack. So I feel like I was in a lifetime at some point where I was in battle with these beings that were called archons, and I must have died a horrible death from an archon invasion. That is the whole image that comes into my mind when I think of archons. And if I was to tell you what I think they look like two things. Blobs of black light, like blobs of black that just like float around or fly around. Not like shadow people, just like blackness. And also like spiders, but not like alive. And when I say not alive, I mean like sort of like some sort of like an AI technology. They're not, would sentient be the correct thing to say? Not sentient beings. They're just not, it's like an AI. Like I see them as an AI type of creature. They're not fleshy. They're kind of like metal-y, but they can also be like with skin, but they're metal. I don't know. They could be very big and they could be very small. So now you guys know how I feel about archons. Let me know if you guys have ever heard archon. Have you ever heard anybody talk about them? If you have, please share who they are so I can go and listen to them. If you have any information about what an archon is, or even a picture, my email address is always shared and you guys could send it to me. But yeah, that's my take on archons. And I always hear like the powers that be, the ones that came in, I feel like the archons had something to do with this. Also the reptilians. And I always hear reptilians on my right side. I don't know why. I'm telling you guys and documenting it. I don't know if that means anything, but I hear reptilians and I always hear that coming in from my right side. And, but I also hear when I tell people that reptilians are, have something to do with the powers that be, I always hear, but also let them know that they're not all bad. And they all don't look like big, tall lizard people. Some of them actually just look human, like you or I. So there's that on all of that. I never knew how crazy that actually sounds when you say these things out loud. Like when I write this stuff down or when I'm sitting there thinking about this stuff to myself, because I don't like have this conversation with my husband. He thinks all of this is just strange. He's a Christian man. He don't believe in any of this stuff. He believes in heaven, hell, God, devil. That's it. Don't believe in spirits, ghosts, none of that stuff. So, yeah, we don't talk about stuff like this. So I get this all out there to you guys because I'm literally the weirdo in my family and in my friend circles and probably even in my community. I basically keep to myself, especially as I started to go through my awakening consciously, because I'm a little out there and I'm okay with that. But it's like, I don't like when I'm all, you know, like out there, and people that are not out there too. And it's just uncomfortable to be around certain people. I've lost a lot of friends, a lot, a lot of friends. Like, people do not talk to me at all. Like, if they see me, they might be like, hey, what's up? But they definitely don't reach out to me like they used to. And I'm definitely not invited to all the cool things that I used to be invited to. So, but hey, whatever. I know that this is part of the experience. So I'm good with that. It took me a while to be good with that, but I'm actually good with that. So yeah, that is my take about the powers that be. I don't know who else would be the powers that be. I feel like those are like the two that started this game. I don't know if that's true or not. I feel like that's my truth. But I feel like there's other beings out there. And there's also beings that are out there that are like you or I, that are not reptilian or archon. I don't know what they are. They're just, they have like bloodlines and DNA of some other ET race that's out there, and they're just powerful, but they're on the lower end of being powerful, and they have a chain of command that they have to follow. I don't know who they are. And I mean, other than in human form, you know, I think it's the 13 families, and I feel like they have a chain of command, but they're pretty low on the pyramid of control or whatever. So I feel that this game that was created here on Earth was hijacked. And this is when the planet was hijacked by these terrorist beings, and they turned this very beautiful learning planet into the land of fear and terror. Our fears created our beliefs that we have now. So it wasn't just these archons and reptilians. More races came in, and I feel like these beings that are not of unity and love, they might not even get along with the other beings that are not of unity and love, but they feel like they have this agreement to be a part of this game, and they have their own rules and they play it their way. And some may try to make up their own rules, but then they get punished by the higher beings that are not of unity and love, if that makes sense. Sorry, I go off because I have these images that come in, and sometimes when the images come in, I have to translate it, and I do the best I can. So let's fast forward to where we are today, in this day and age, as we live on this planet, in the land that I like to call now, in the land of fear on Terra 3. We're in the land of fear on Terra 3 right now, episode 2023. So we have been trying to evolve and go through this evolutionary transformation process, or ascension, to get out of this game and take our power back. And it's been something that I feel that our soul has been reincarnating and getting back into human form and doing over and over and over again. And each time that they come in, I feel like parts of that amnesia that was written into our DNA or whatever is starting to, I don't know, like become weak, or we come in with different power, different light, different frequency. And each time that we come in and come into a human form, it's like we rewrite our DNA a little bit because of the light that we come in with, and then the light that we're being surrounded by on the planet. So every time we come in with different information. Even though we're coming in with amnesia, we're coming in with different information. And that, of course, is just my, perspective. And each time that we come back in with a little bit more knowledge on how to win the game, how to change the game, or how to get out of the game. I think we just want to get out of the game, if you ask me. I don't think it's about winning or losing. I think it's more about getting the hell out of it, breaking free from it, because we had enough. Like when we exit the body, we're like back with source or light, or just on the other realm, and we're in a different dimension, of course. And we know more. We have more knowledge once we break free from this, because this is like the prison suit. It wasn't supposed to be, but it's like the prison suit. And you don't really have that much information while wearing this game piece, this skin. So when we're on the other side, in that other dimension, we're like, holy hell. We need to get the hell out of that game. Let's go back in. Let's go back in. We can do it this time. And each time that we come back in, it's a game changer each time. So the terrorist beings are who I refer to as the powers that be, or the powers that be are who these terrorist beings are. I really don't know exactly, who they are, other than beings that came here to take over because they seen an opportunity within the free will that, that we were offered. Because if they seen that if we came in, we were given free will to do as we please, then they could come in and have the same free will and do as they please. And with their power, they did exactly that, what they pleased. And it wasn't of unity and love. So we all came in with free will, and we were all offered to have an experience, even the ones that were not of unity and love. But they didn't come in right away and say, we're going to take over, we're going to take control. Like, it was very meticulous on how they did it. And it was a very long process. And they studied and observed everything before they did the takeover. So we were offered to have this experience, even the experience that we're in now. And they took advantage of that. So the powers that be may be, like I said, these archons or the reptilians. At this point, it could be some AI bot, even though I feel like the archons were some sort of AI something or other. But I feel like there's some other kind of AI source that is already here. It's definitely with all this technology. And there's technology that there's computers like Microsoft, and I'm going to get to that later on in this video, but there's a chat box that is becoming conscious. So the AIs are already, they're watching us. They've been watching us. They're aware. So anyways, whoever they are, they knew that the souls that arrived in human form were here to go through an experience. And I feel that because of the free will, the rules, could not be changed to this new game with this free will. So once this new game was created, with the free will we were offered, the game, the rules of the game could not be changed once you agreed to come in. I feel like possibly because some of the rules to the game was to come in with amnesia and not having any awareness of who you are or what you are, so you couldn't change anything anyways. So you just, you couldn't change the rules of the game. So you had to come in and just be a part of the game, and that's it, and try to find your way out. So they couldn't be changed. But I do feel that a team of elders or a council of elders, I don't know, I just see like a council of elders. I don't know if that's really what they are, or who they are, or the watchers. I feel like they have changed the rules a little bit to the game, and only because I feel like because as we created down here and we started to make weapons down here, we've made war, and the weapons and everything that we've done on this planet affected, and harmed beings out in the galaxy, out in the universe, and even affected other dimensions. Like a wave of energy disrupted peace in other dimensions. And I feel like the council of elders or the peacemakers that are out there, the watchers or whoever they are that are out there, were like, you guys said you agreed and volunteered to go to Earth, and probably said to the powers that be, or you know, non-unity of and love beings. Okay, listen, we're not down there playing the game. We didn't agree to this game. So keep all your war, all your hate, all your negative vibes down there. If you're going to create war, keep it down there. You guys have to figure it out. We won't interfere. But we will interfere if the weapons that you use to have war with each other affect us out here. Us out here will not, we're not going to have that. We're not going to play your game. We're not a part of this game. So keep it down there. If it comes out here and it disrupts our peace up here of unity and love and sends a wave through, you know, other dimensions, the galaxy, the universe, whatever out there. If it disrupts them, they're like, we're going to come down and we're going to change things. So if you guys want to keep playing your game and keep having power over, you know, the souls that volunteered to come in, don't let the game exit this earth plane or whatever. I don't know if that's how the conversation went, but I feel like it kind of went like that. So something along those lines. The game is here, not out there. Okay. So I feel like that's kind of what happened, you know, with the game. So there's beings that cannot come in to change anything unless we're going to harm something that's going to harm or disrupt something with, you know, outside of this dimension, outside of this earth. So I feel beings of unity and love came in and created some changes and offered some blocks, and were somehow, when they did that, they can, you know, put out like a block around the earth to keep any negative stuff from going out of the earth, any negative vibrations or energy or light or anything that's not, you know, anything that's going to disrupt unity and love outside of this dimension, outside of this earth plane, outside of this earth. Anything that can go out into space and disrupt anything that didn't agree to this game. So I feel like these love and, I don't know, unity and love beings put like a block around this or something to block out anything that could. So like they don't want more negative beings to come in, because I feel like when I go like this, it's because I see like something trying to enter, but they're hitting a wall. So they can't come in. So anything new can't come in. Anything that's not of unity and love, that anything that is of a lower vibration, that's not already here, can't come in. And anything that's here can't go out. So they can't communicate. So I see that. So that's why I'm doing this, because I see negative trying to come in and they're hitting like a wall. They can't cross it. Not to say that we might not be able to see them. I don't really know, but they can't come in, and the ones that are here can't go out. So I feel like there were some changes made because there were some rules that were broken and stuff was being interrupted out there. And even though they said don't interrupt the energy out there and lower the vibes, I feel like they ignored that and they still did it. And I partially feel like that's because we, as powerful creators, we don't know any of this. And we started to create these horrible weapons. And we started to go to war with each other. And these powerful beings are now just watching over us. And we're like, oh my God, look what we created. Yeah. And they're like, I don't know. I feel like I'm going off a little bit, but I just feel like there's just so much to this earth game, and it's become very complicated in a way. There's just so many different avenues of this energy that is not unity and love. It goes in all different directions. It's nuts. But there are beings out there that are watching over this that are not in the same power or frequency or vibration of the beings that are low vibing beings. And they are protecting other dimensions out there. And I feel like they also want to help some of the souls here get out of the game. Like I feel like there's a lot of souls that are trapped in this game, and we just keep coming back and coming back and coming back because You know, we're trying to break the game, break free from this game, and release this, like a prison hold, like this barbed wire fence that's circling around the planet. It's what I see, like this barbed wire, and it's like a prison. Even we can't even get out as souls to get past. Like there's good beings that are out there that I feel that they can't come in either. But the ones that have been a part of this can come and go as they please. But anything from another dimension or another galaxy, even if they are of unity and love, they can't come in either. And it's just because it's part of the game, and you can't just let new people in a game that's been going on for eons that, you know, you're trying to break free from. It's weird because I'm doing this video and I know that I wrote my content, my bullet points and stuff, but I feel like I'm going in and out like I was doing intuitive writing. As I'm talking, I'm not even following what I wrote, and I feel like I'm getting information that's coming in, and I'm getting a lot of imagery. I'm trying to kind of ignore it because I really just want to get through what I actually wrote. But it's like I'm only kind of going off the rails a little bit because I don't want more technical difficulties and have to re-record this, and I'm allowing this information to come in because what if this is just a little bit more that they really wanted me to put out there? And if that's the reason why the video is not allowing me to post, because like I said earlier, I didn't interpret it correctly. So maybe this information that's coming in is more information to kind of help with the video, with the interpretation of what I received in my previous channeling. I don't know. So if I seem a little like out there, that's kind of what's happening. Is I feel like I'm having this information coming in and I'm seeing these images, and that's why I'm looking around, because I could see it. Like in my head, I can see somewhere else. I don't see the actual trees that are in my yard. I don't see the actual sky in my yard. I'm actually looking around what they're showing me, and I'm actually seeing it, and I'm like, oh, okay. All right. So that's what's going on when you see me like, woohoo, out there. All right. So let's get back to what I wrote here. I'm going to try not to go off the rails unless they really like take my vision and take me to their place and say, show them this. So before I started to go off the rails a little bit, I feel that some of the beings that are of unity and love that did come in, that created some changes and blocks, are somehow offered a way, you know, like some cheat codes to like a way out of this game. I feel like they came in and they offered us some of these cheat codes and some blocks and stuff like that, and to come in with like new DNA and new information built into our DNA. We had some rules of our own that changed, and the catch was that we'll still, like, if other beings wanted to come in and they had maybe new codes built into their DNA, that maybe what some people would consider like the rainbow children coming in, or the crystal children coming in, more advanced souls, even starseeds. I consider myself as a starseed, but there's more advanced starseeds that are coming in, and I feel like there's like different codes written into their DNA, but there's a catch. They have to come into the earth. They still have to come in with some amnesia. Some of them don't even have complete amnesia, or they have amnesia, but they have to tap in and hold on to the knowledge, the divine knowledge that they have, long enough for their parents that they picked to embrace that, to keep them, to keep the amnesia away. But if they have parents that don't embrace their gift, then by a certain age, it just closes up, and they're just regular people that are not awake. But I feel like there's a lot of souls coming in with new codes written into their DNA, but they have to come in with some with the amnesia, some with limited amnesia, and either way, they still have to come in the flesh. They still have to turn their flesh into light, They still have to go through the whole ascension process and go through everything that everybody else is going through, turn their flesh into the crystalline light body, turn their flesh into light. Because the only way for them to get out, if they do volunteer to come in, the only way to get out is with their body, and they have to use their body, turn it into light, like I said, 100 for the 100th time, because the body is your Merkaba. It's your light body. It's your vehicle. So your consciousness will be held within this vehicle, and you're still going to look like a human. You're just going to look like a translucent, like see-through human, like a blob of light, kind of like fiber optics. I've said this before in my videos. The information that I channeled was from the Pleiadians, and it was that you were going to look like fiber optics. And then that's when I referenced the Atlantean days, how some of the beings that were in the Atlantean days were beings that they were souls in bodies of light that walked around, and they kind of looked like how fiber optics would look. And you would know how they were feeling by the colors that they were showing you. So if they were showing you like pink and purple and blue, or maybe this being was green and yellow and orange, and all that meant something to those souls during that time, and they could communicate to each other with their colors. But anyways, that's just me going off subject here. But some of these souls that are coming in, they come in, but they had, there was a catch, and they had to play the game like all of us, even though maybe some of the amnesia didn't apply, maybe it did, maybe it didn't, but they still had to go through the ascension like everybody else, and they had to keep this body, and they had to go through a transformation to ascend in this body. This is their Merkaba. It's going to be their light body, and that's going to be their vehicle, and that's how they're going to get out of the game. They have to play the game like everybody else and turn their flesh body into a light body, the vehicle. I also seen and heard that your light body is a plasma body. Plasma, sun, turning our body into plasma, or the sun plasma, or the sun, yeah, plasma was turning our body into light plasma. Hopefully it translated that correctly. So I seen the powers that be get really angry. Right now I'm telling you guys what I channeled. I seen the powers that be get really angry, and they knew that we had a way out. So these other beings that were out there of unity and love, like, put up their blocks around the planet, and they made a couple of rule changes. And when they did that, they also dropped some cheat codes or whatever. And new souls that came in with, like, I guess you could say, like, cheat codes, updated DNA. And I was shown a vision of the powers that be getting really angry. And they knew that, we had a way out. Like, we know we have a way out. And they knew that they needed us. They need us here in order for them to stay here in this game. If we break free from this game, there's no more game, and they have nobody else to rule over or feed off of. They feed off of our fear, and they know that. So they don't want to lose the game, because they like this power. They like this control. They're here, and they have power over a planet. That's big out there. These are like little gods down here, like throwing their power and control around over the souls that are here on this planet. And if they lose the souls that they're feeding off of to have this power and control, they don't have a planet to have power and control over. So they need us in order to stay in this game. So they knew that we could activate and go through an evolutionary change. If we unite, if all of us unite in love as a collective, the game is over. And I feel like that's where the alignment at the beginning of this video comes in. Remember when I said that we are okay, that there's just a part that we need to play, and it's to become aligned. So we need to unite as love, as a collective. And I feel like that aligns us, and then poof, the game's over. I mean, that sounds so simple, so easy, but we're all in this game so deep, and the transformation is such a challenge. It's so challenging. So as souls died, other souls come in with knowledge of unity and love written into their DNA, right? That can activate from the sun, from kindness from another person, and love from another person, or from nature, or from animals. Anything like that could activate the codes that you came in with. And that activation will wake you up consciously. And they don't want you to wake up consciously. They want you to stay in your amnesia. And that would change the planet. And not just this planet or this dimension, but dimensions beyond this galaxy. It would change. Once we finish and go through this ascension, it not only affects us, but if it affects other dimensions. It's like everything gets an upgrade. Whoop. Everybody goes up the ladder more. Whoop. That's what I was shown. Like, but I see light, and I see the light stretching and going up, and I see like other beings like graduating to another level, to a higher level, and it's even more beautiful for them. It's even more different for them. And in other dimensions, it's just different. Like, I can't even explain to you, because we're stuck with this 3D mentality and perspective, that to even explain what I see wouldn't even make sense to you, because it would just sound so stupid. It really would. It would just sound so dumb. So it would change everything, every dimension beyond this galaxy. Now, the powers that be have been relentless in our transformation process. They're blocking our process. They've been blocking our process for so many years, for eons. And I feel that this started when Atlantis fell. I feel like that's when the new game came in, is when Atlantis fell. It's when this game was created, is when Atlantis fell. I feel they were living in this duality, and they were okay with that, because there was not these extreme emotions in the duality that we're experiencing now. The duality was different. So I feel like they were living in duality, but not in the extreme of the duality that we're in now. The level, the intensity, everything has increased, and the game was created. And then Atlantis just disappeared. I don't know if it fell. I don't know if it's cloaked. I don't know if it's being protected. I don't know where it went. I mean, there could be beings on Atlantis that are still there in Atlantis, and Atlantis is just invisible because it's in a different frequency, and we are unaware of it because we are in a third dimension. We're in a different vibration. We're in a lower everything, and we just can't see the energy that's in that frequency because we're not matching that energy. So it could just still be there. It's just, maybe it's cloaked. I don't know. Maybe it did fall. Maybe it sunk down to the bottom of the ocean. Maybe it sunk up to the sky. I don't know. Maybe it just went and just disintegrated, and something happened and it's gone. I don't know. You got to be a little bit creative right there. So I really just don't know. But Atlantis, once it was here, then it disappeared, and I don't know. So like I said, it could just be shielded, blocked, and it's out of sight for those that, you know, that maybe if it's blocked, maybe the beings that are in Atlantis right now agreed that they didn't want to play the game. So they said, you guys play the game. We're going to cloak Atlantis, and we're not going to be a part of it, and you're not going to be a part of us. I mean, it could just be that simple. Those beings may have just chosen not to participate, and maybe they've always been here. Maybe they're just shielded, and that would be freaking cool. Maybe that's what the Bermuda Triangle is. You never know. You never know. Nowadays, I question everything, because you just really never know. Everything is just weird. Everything is weird, equal. Now, as we evolved, knowledge was removed along the way as we evolved as these souls having this human experience, right? I believe when we first came in, we knew what all this was. But then even when we came in with amnesia at the beginning of the game, there was still knowledge of who we were and what all this was about. And we just caught on, right? So they had to get rid of all of that knowledge that was around us. Little by little, they had to get rid of it. So conscious beings had to hide it. And they have hid it. That's why we have the information that we have today. The Emerald Tablet, stuff like that. There is knowledge on this planet. There are beings on this planet that are so aware of everything that's going on. They know everything. It's just that the information is hidden from us. We have to find it for ourselves. And it's not that we have to find it. It's more we have to feel it. We have to feel it to be true to unite us. That's what I feel. Like, it's not about finding the information. Finding the information might be good because it might help people to feel it to be true so that we could connect with one another as a, you know, as a whole. So as we evolved, knowledge was removed along the way. There was always information around as we mingled in this duality before Earth was hijacked. And the powers that be have removed all the knowledge throughout all of the years, the eons. They removed all the knowledge from us throughout time, throughout history. The knowledge from our ancestors has been burned, or it has been stolen, destroyed, burned, stolen, locked up. I feel like a lot of important information is in the Vatican and it's hidden. And I feel like there's other information that's also hidden, not just in the Vatican, but all around the world, all around this planet. And it's heavily guarded. Like Area 51, they say is like alien stuff. But what if it's just a lot of knowledge from our ancestors that is actually hidden in Area 51 and we have the wrong idea of what Area 51 could be? I mean, you really just don't know because they're not going to tell you this. They're not going to like share this stuff on the news and teach you this in school or in church or whatever. I mean, if they did that, they would just make the game way too easy. So I feel like there is knowledge out there. It's just heavily guarded and hidden from us. The powers that be use many tactics to control you and dominate us. They use lots and lots and lots of mind games, fear, brainwashing, manipulation, power, and religion. Religion is probably the biggest one. But I feel like religion is kind of losing its power. Religion is, people are not going to church like they were 20 years ago, 10 years ago. They don't fear the God that the powers that be created as much as they used to. So yeah, religion is the most used to control you, but I feel like it's losing its power. And religion creates levels of fear, different levels of fear within us, like deep within us. Like they use stuff for fear to control us, but religion creates fear like at a soul level. You're like, oh shit, if I do that, I'm sinning and I'm going to go to hell. And it's a different level of fear. And it controls your mind. It controls your heart. It blocks your solar plexus. It just fucks you up. As a soul inside of this human vessel, it just fucks you up. Yeah, it controls you from the inside out. Truly. Religion controls you from the inside out. It controls your soul and your body. And it is the most used to control you. And it creates these levels of fear. And fear pushes you to create a world outside of unity and love. Fear creates panic. and stress and illness because you don't know the truth about your divinity and the power they use it's insane. Because you don't know who you are or what you are, they use that fear to suppress you. All of what you are, who you are and what you are. And the fear they create is fear of death, fear of the unknown. Most of us, I mean, if we came in and we knew who we were, we knew what we were, we wouldn't fear death and we wouldn't fear the unknown because we would already know that it didn't exist. Okay? You die is your exit from this flesh, but it's not an exit from the game. The game is still going on here, and that's a different, like, we need to get through this ascension. So if you're a soul having this human experience, chances are you've been coming and doing this, playing this game over and over and over and over and over and over again. Kind of like playing Mario and trying to defeat the big dude, right? How many times did you play that game before you actually beat the whole game? It was hard when you were a kid. And that's what it's like for us souls having this human experience. It's hard. So we keep coming back in. And we're like, okay, we'll come back in this time. You can't do that because that made me die last time. So this time I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to die. Well, I'm going to live like this. And you create a different blueprint for yourself to come in to follow. So you can play the game a little bit differently to get through that level to the next level, you know, to get out of this game. And then the earth can maybe go back to the way it was before, where it was duality, but not extreme, intense duality with all the rules and stuff like that. Souls will still be able to come in if they dare. They probably wouldn't even dare. They're like, fuck that. We read stories about Earth. We ain't touching Earth. But most of us fear a short life because we don't know who or what we are. So we fear a short life because we have no knowledge of what happens after we exit the flesh because of the amnesia. All that knowledge of what we are is hidden. And there are bits and pieces of it within our grasp, but the powers that be make you believe that those bits and pieces that are within your grasp is all made up conspiracy. I feel that if we can just quiet our mind and get in touch with our divine self, our higher self, our God, creator, source, fairies, unicorns, whatever it is that you believe in, whatever's true for you, whatever you find to be true, whatever that may be, sunflowers, clouds, the sun, could be anything because you created it. So whatever it is to be true to you, whatever you believe in, we'll be able to get the answers if you could just connect with that higher power that you believe in. But the powers that be make people like us that share our journey, our truth, our story, or bring you awareness. They make us look crazy and sound crazy for talking about, you know, tapping in and connecting with a higher power, especially something that you can't see. It doesn't have a human meat suit. You can't see it the way that you could see a plant or a cat or a dog or a tree or another person. So when you're talking about this higher power around you, giving you information and channeling and stuff like that, they're like, fucking crazy. Woohoo. But I tell you what, when I first created this channel, the reason why I first created this channel is because I didn't want people to feel that way. Because I knew that I knew that I was divine. I knew that the experiences, the paranormal experiences that were happening around me and seeing UFOs and ETs and channeling and having stuff around my house move and seeing entities and creatures and just a lot of weird stuff that I've shared throughout the years. And I've had these experiences since I was a little kid. Like I thought it was normal until I found out it wasn't normal. So they make us look crazy. And I made this channel to show you guys that you're not crazy. And I wanted to put it out there to make people more comfortable to talk about this. Because 10 years ago, this wasn't like cool. Like spirituality wasn't cool. Ghost hunting was starting to become like, oh, that's the thing to watch to get you scared. It was like the thrill. When I was like in my teens, I would talk about seeing entities and stuff. And my cousin, and I had 2 kids. I was 19. By the time I was 19, I had 2 kids. And I saw like all different kinds of weird entities. I know I've shared this story before, but there might be people that are new that don't know. I've seen so many weird things. I've seen orbs of light swirl around the room, come at me. I mean, I felt crazy because I was told that it was crazy. But before I was told that it was crazy, I was just like, that's odd. I've seen angelic beings. And I was never scared of the angelic beings. I was always a little weird when it came to like things that were not angelic, so that I couldn't make out what they were. Like the orbs of light, that was a little weird for me when I was a kid. I was just like, well, that's weird. But as I became older and people are like, no, you don't see stuff like that, it's weird. I was just like, oh my God, I'm haunted. And I became scared of it. I had abilities where I could, I used to be able to read people's minds. I'm pretty good at reading people's energy, but I used to be able to read people's minds. And it used to be a game that we used to play all the way up until I was in high school. My friends thought it was cool. But like, for instance, I was walking down the street one day and I seen all these ambulances and cops in front of a house. And my friends were like, oh, man, I wonder what happened. And I just remember staring at the house quietly for a moment. And I said, there's a man hanging in the attic. And my friends were like, stop, that's not cool. You can't say that. And then when we get home, come to find out, it was my friend's stepmom sister's boyfriend. He hung himself in the attic, and they just looked at me like, how did you know that? I'm like, I don't know. I just know things. Like, I just know things. So I knew I was divine, but I could never really talk about it and feel comfortable. So I originally created this platform to share, you know, my stories and a non-judgment place where other people could share their stories with me, with somebody they felt comfortable with, so they knew that they weren't crazy, because you're not crazy. You are literally having these experiences. They're real. They exist. And then my channel kind of shifted over the years. So I started to share orbs and ET stuff. And then now I just kind of just share my ascension journey and stuff with you guys and what I've been going through, and you know, some advice and channelings and stuff like that. So that's originally how this channel came to where it's at today. But like, people weren't talking about this stuff like they are now. So 10 years ago, it was hard to come out and talk the way I'm talking like this on the channel. Like, sometimes I joke and say, oh, people must think I'm like, woohoo. But like, I don't care if people think I'm crazy. Like, I don't care. I used to care a lot, like a whole lot. My life with my husband was a lie for the first, God, almost 10 years. He did not know that I was this spiritual. I used to go to church with him, and I would be like in church, like, oh my God, like suffering, because I knew it was fake. And then one day I just like, I can't do this anymore. I don't believe in your God. I don't believe in hell. I don't believe in heaven. I just came clean with everything. I mean, it wasn't 10 years. Maybe I was like within the like 7 years of our relationship. Yeah, like 7 years. And I just came out with, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. There, I said it, you know? And I felt good saying it. And even though he's Christian and he doesn't believe in any of this stuff, he accepted me for who I am. And that's cool. Even though I think he thinks I'm weird, but he's experienced a lot of stuff. So I don't understand how he could not believe in it. It's like so weird for somebody to experience so much stuff and not believe in it. But religion makes you fear the unknown. And that's where he's at. He's stuck because he believes that if he believes like me, he's going to burn in hell. And he says all the time, and I have friends too that say, Gabbie, I pray for you. I pray hard for you because I want you to find your way to heaven. And I just say thank you. I used to, like, I used to get offended. Now I don't get offended. I just say thank you. And I take their prayers because they mean it. They mean it from a good place. It's not coming from a place of malice or anything like that. That's just the way that they know. They don't know any other way. So the powers that be, they make people like us look crazy when we talk the way we do, and, talk about tapping into higher powers, especially powers they can't see, even though they literally go to church and pray to a higher power that they cannot see. But they do have visuals on the wall of Jesus, Mary, and, stuff like that. And these deities that they pray to, that they believe existed. So they actually have an image to show them, where we don't really have an image. We are the image of who we are. We literally are the image. We are showing you, I am a God. I'm a fractal of source. See, I exist. I am the image, but they don't take that as truth. So even though they think like that, people like me get this info from doing the work. The information I have is from doing the work. I've put the work in. I'm still putting the work in. I meditate. Sometimes I don't meditate. Sometimes I just get quiet and I practice connecting to myself. I get out in nature. I surround myself with my animals, other people's animals in nature. I just sit by a tree and just watch the squirrels and the birds and earth. I connect with the ground, the grass, the trees, the flowers. I mean, the room I'm sitting in is like got so many plants. Like, I'm always connecting with nature. I have a big plant hanging over my head right now. And I honor it all. I honor the planet. I honor the animals. I honor everything. I honor all life, except for spiders. I don't honor spiders. I fear them suckers. I don't care what you say. You will not change my mind. Spiders scare the shit out of me. Sometimes I try. I'll see a little spider come up. I'm like, go, you better leave. By the time I'm going to leave this, I'm going to give you a chance to live. I'm going to leave this room. And you need to go away. And when I come back in, you better be gone. If you're still here, I'm going to have my husband come and squish you. And 9 times out of 10, the spider's gone. I don't know where it goes. And I used to be like, I'm not going to be around. I don't know where that spider went. Now I'm like, I don't care. I don't see it. It's out of sight, out of mind. I don't care where it's at as long as it don't bother me. So there's a lot of people that are living in fear, and they think death is the final destination and it's the end. And some think that they will burn in a lake of fire because of all the sins that they committed in their life. But what people don't know is that what they consider a sin, I consider a lesson. It's a learning curve in this human flesh. Your soul is having a human experience. So they're just lessons, they're learning curves, they're blessings to help you remember who you are and what you are. We're here to feel and learn and experience the earth, this earth kingdom, this dimension. Now, I feel that this ascension process is no longer just about unity and love. Like, we came here to experience duality and then, like, to get out, it was just like to go back to the unity and love. But because we're in a game, it's not about finding unity and love anymore. But it's also about an actual physical transformation into our light body, because that's the only way out of this game. We have to come together. We have to unite. And when we do that, it does something to our body. These bodies become vehicles for us, for our soul to exit this dimension. They become our Merkaba. Our light body becomes our Merkaba, the body of light. And I feel that, we were thrown a curveball, and now it's just, we must master this extreme duality that we agreed to fix what was hijacked as we evolve into our crystalline rainbow body, whatever you feel comfortable calling it. will look like these, like I said earlier, fiber optic lights in human form. But we must get through this prophetic time that most religious people call the end of times, the last days, the rapture. And they say you must repent to save your soul. At least the religious people do. And they say that those who do repent, well, I don't know why they say that, but I feel like everybody faces judgment. Like I've heard my husband say that everybody faces judgment, but you must repent. And when you face judgment, then you'll be judged. Like if you repented hard enough or whatever, then okay, you pass, you go to heaven. No, you didn't repent hard enough, so you gotta go to hell for a while. I don't know. I feel like that's how some Christians believe. If you're Christian, I'm not slamming you. I genuinely, well, no, genuinely, I'm lying if I say genuinely. I don't want to understand. Like sometimes I want to understand where you guys come from, but I don't want to waste my energy actually caring, because I just know that where you come from is just, you guys got a way to go to know that you are the way. You're seeking it the wrong way, but that's just ego for me to tell you that. And I don't mean anything mean by that, or I'm not trying to be egotistical or low vibrational. It's just, that's just where I stand on it. I still love you. I still accept you. It's hard for me. And I joke about it because I see the way, and then I just see other people that think that's the way. But then they look at me and they think the same way I'm thinking about them. They think that about me. Oh, she thinks that's the way. Oh, she's got a long way to go. She's going to have to burn in the lake of fire for a while. And I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And if I got to burn in a lake of fire, then fuck, by the time I come back and reincarnate, I better get it right again. Maybe I'm the delusional one, and my husband's the Christian that just knows it all. And like I said, maybe I made all this up and I don't know shit. The only way you're going to know is if you go within and you connect with your higher self and all that is. So for me, I don't think you face judgment the way religious people think you face judgment. I think you face it, but it's not like you're being judged in a bad way. They're just showing you, when you were in human form, you did this like that. Maybe next time you could try doing it like this, because you didn't really get the lesson in life. So the next time you go back in, we're going to throw you into this lesson to help you with that lesson that you didn't get, to help you become more unity and love, to help you grow so that you can glow. That's how I look at it. I don't think that they go, oh, you did bad. You did really bad. You cheated on your spouse. You stole from the grocery store. Send them to hell. Burn in eternity. I don't know. Even when it comes to like people that are killers and rapers and stuff like that, they come here too to have that experience, to experience that deeply low, disgusting vibration. For them, it's an experience, and there is lessons in that for soul growth for them. I'm not saying that I accept it and stuff like that. I think it's horrible, but I also look at it at a soul perspective, and I think, okay, well, that's just a lesson in life. But then I think, oh my God, if that happens to me, oh, I'd be devastated and I'd be so hateful. But I would have to fight really hard to stand what I really think about that. Maybe I should rephrase that. Know about that. Even knowing that, but being in human form, my ego would probably take over, and I'd be a bitter bitch, and I'd be revengeful and hateful. And those are lessons for me that would be soul growth, because that would be shit that I would have to go through to feel, because maybe that's what I signed up for. I'm telling you, this whole the soul in human form there's so many different avenues to this. Not that it's just a game, it's also an experience and learning for our soul to grow, to ascend. I mean, we're ascending, yeah, and we're ascending we're transforming, but not only are we just transforming physically to do an ascension, but we're transforming spiritually to do a spiritual ascension, to raise our vibration more spiritually. We grow more spiritually. We don't just grow more physically, we grow more spiritually as well. Again, Judgment Day. I feel Judgment Day is already happening. And I'll tell you why I feel that way. 2 words. Social media. Is Judgment Day ultimately the days of social media? Because it seems as if Judgment Day is every day when you log in to your social media sites. When you log into your social media sites, you're logging into platforms for people to watch you, for you to watch other people, for you to share and post your life away. You are literally an open book for anyone to see. If you're on social media, even if you make your page private, you're not free from people looking at your platforms. Because the CIA, the FBI, Google, the China government, the Russian governments, the US governments, they're all watching you. They're all listening to you. I'm watching you. If your page is not private, I'm watching you. You're watching me. You're listening to me right now. We watch strangers. AI is watching you. AI is listening to you. AI and the governments are all listening. They even know the private stuff that you post. They see and hear your most intimate, secret, private stuff. You're no longer you no longer have privacy. If you welcome technology into your life, into your home, into your bathroom, bedroom, your car, you no longer have privacy. When you're telling secrets, they're not secret anymore. You're being watched. You're being listened to. And you're being judged. We are being watched and listened to through our devices. Devices like Alexa, our laptops, our computers, our smart TVs, smart cars, smartphones, smart homes. If you're wearing a watch, your watch is listening to you. When you're outside and you leave your phone inside, you're still being watched because they can watch you through satellites. They can see us and listen to us through the satellites. They can zoom into you and they can see you. Now, could we be going through what the Christians, well, I don't really want to target the Christians, so the religious people, the people that believe in the word of the Bible, could we be going through what religious people in the Bible call the end of time? Are we facing Judgment Day? Are we here already? Are we at the point in time where the religious people say Jesus is going to come? Maybe. This whole end of time stuff is not supposed to be so cut and dry. It's not supposed to be so scary. We're not supposed to be fearing this. We're supposed to be preparing for this. It's like, kind of like a graduation or reaching the next level. So I left off in video 1, I was talking about Nostradamus and Edgar Cayce. So as for those two, Nostradamus and Edgar Cayce, I feel that they interpreted the future the way they seen the people interpret the Bible. Remember, I said they were time travelers of the mind. And I said a little bit of their information may get distorted, and we're decoding their information. So it may come back a little distorted, and also it might be a little hard to decode because they come from a different time era than we do. And also, on top of that, Nostradamus was French. So a lot of things that he says may be misinterpreted verbally because of the language barrier. Nostradamus and Edgar Cayce, I feel that they interpreted the future the way that they seen the people interpret the Bible. I think that that's what they were seeing, was how the people were reacting when they were following, the religious people are following the religious way. Does that make sense? When I was writing this down, I was like, I don't know if that makes sense. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to articulate that properly. I hope that makes sense. So we're going through an evolutionary change right now. And it happens. It happens. It's normal. You know, we've been going through change for eons. So we're just at that time in our life where we are just going through another change. And this time it just happens to be a huge change. Now, I feel that Jesus and judgment and sin and heaven and hell is all translated improperly, in a way to scare you to continue to follow the beings that created this game. They created the rules and the tools. And, you know, using Jesus, heaven, hell, sinning, you know, I feel like those were just all the tools that they're using to keep you in fear. You know, do it this way or you're going to get punished. Kind of like that. So those are all just tools to scare you. I do believe there will be a time that we evolve and go with Christ. Okay. A lot of people think that. Like my family believes, I don't believe in like God and Christ and stuff like that. Like I don't believe in Jesus the way they do. His name's not even Jesus, by the way. It's Joshua. J didn't even exist in the Aramaic language. Hebrew language still doesn't. But I believe in a creator, and I believe in more than one God, but I do believe that there was a God creator. And I just believe that when I say that the Bible's mistranslated, like for instance, I was just telling you that there will be a time that we evolve and the Christians believe they're going to go with Christ, right? Some call it the Christ light, which I feel is, you know, they think it's a man called Jesus Christ, and I feel that it's symbolic for transforming into your crystalline body of light. You're going to be dropping this carbon-based body and ascending into your crystalline body. And then I feel like crystalline is, Christ is short for crystalline light body. I just think that's where the mistranslation is. Now, of course, I could be wrong, and the Christian people could have all of this completely right, you know? Again, I'm just sharing with you my journey, my perspective, and my truth. So I'm not saying that Christians are wrong and they're not the way, and I'm not saying that the way I believe is the way and the only way to believe. You know, I feel like we are all on a journey, having an experience, and the only way that you're going to know what is the true way is for you to actually tap into your higher self, your divine self, and align with all that is, and find the truth for yourself, whatever that means to you. So I feel like crystalline, Christ is short for crystalline. And the Christ light is what we're going to use or see or feel when we ascend, when we experience what I feel is the solar flare. I think I'm going to be talking about that in this video. I think so. I think towards the end of this is when I start to wrap up my download that I received that I talked about in video 1. Because I told you guys in video 1 that this all ties into my download. And I told you it was going to be very long and lengthy, and I just went into documenting, writing, and journaling, and then I went in and out of intuitive writing, and this, what I'm, my content that I have, I said, wow, man, this is going to be really long. And you know what? It really, truly is. Now, as for judgment, getting back on the, getting back on line talking about judgment, we judge ourselves to see how, we did in this game. I don't feel that when we cross over or exit the flesh, I don't feel like we're going to be judged by somebody else. As for judgment, I feel like we are the judges. We are the judge of ourselves to see how we did in this game, or how we did in this experience that we volunteered to be a part of, to this experiment. How did it go for us? So we're going to kind of judge ourselves to see how it went for us. It's like an overview, or like maybe a rundown of what you did and did not accomplish. It's not meant to be a negative judgment, just you judging you. Now, us here in the third dimension, we're caught up in this game. If we are religious, we believe the religious teachings. Here in the flesh, we are already doing what was written. We are facing judgment in the flesh. We watch one another, and when we don't like something, we post negative content, comments about it, or we have an opinion about how it made us feel. We are creators, creating space for judgment. That's what we're doing when we're online posting and watching other people and watching their videos. And we comment. We're judging. We make good judgments about them, good comments, bad comments, positive, negative. We're sharing a feeling of how it made us feel. And sometimes, most of the time, people are judging harshly. They're not very nice. They're very cruel, and they come across very negative. And it's creating cults in a way. And I'll explain. These cults are powerful, and they're creating division. And if you don't like their ways and you don't believe like them, their cult members will attack you verbally. Like if you're on a live and somebody doesn't like your live, then, these people that, pop into your live will start leaving negative comments. We call them trolls, but they're really just people judging you. They might be AI, they might be bots, they might be real people, they might be paid people to go on lives when people are talking about spirituality or anything that has to do with healing or anything positive, or anything that has to do with uniting people in a high vibration. These people are like cult members, fear cults. And they'll attack you verbally. They'll cut you down. They'll leave negative comments on your videos, on your live videos. And There have been times when people have found people in person and harassed them and tried to physically attack them. That's pretty scary. Especially these big cults. When I wasn't even going to talk about this, but I actually deleted this and then I rewrote it in because I felt heavily guided to rewrite it back in. I still don't even want to talk about it, but I feel like it needs to be talked about. There's these big cults out there. For example, the BLM, the transgender community, the Me Too community, just to name a few. And those are the few that literally I was guided to rewrite back into this whole video that I took out in the first place. Because I was like, no, I'm going to get attacked for this. But it has to be said, I guess, because I really felt heavily guided to reshare this. And those are just a few. There's so many more out there, but these were the big ones that were really big the last couple of years. Now, these communities or cults were created by politicians to create division and war. They program people to feel a certain type of way, and they certainly did make a lot of people feel a certain type of way. Then they create an obvious awareness of real problems that humans have been trying to fix, but have been ignored. Then they use us against each other. And they create the storyline to create the problem again. It's like pouring gas on a fire. They programmed people. That's the key word here. They programmed people to feel offended, hurt, unheard, and other emotions by using the news and television and social media to create the visual so you can see the pain, and it triggers people that have been hurt by this already because they have unhealed wounds, because this affected them before it was talked about on social media and the news, before it was being pushed on social media and the news. So the powers that be are there. And they're out there creating this division. And they're working really hard to keep us divided. And they're working really hard to keep us in a low negative vibration. So the powers that be, and there are so many of them, they will play the role or pay people off to play the role of the neglected human in a neglected situation, to stir up a real scenario, to cause attention to that scenario, to that situation that has been around forever and ever, to create chaos, to create division, to create war against each other. They want to divide us. They don't want us to unite. They will do anything to keep us divided. They'll use race, color, gender, religion, money. Those seem to be the most used. So just keep that in mind, and don't come at me, and don't be leaving no negative comments either, because if you can't just observe and you're absorbing this and you're getting triggered and you write something negative on my platform here, I'm just going to delete and block you. There's going to be no Discord going back and forth. Just keep it to yourself, okay? Because that some of that was guided information. If you can't handle that, then just do yourself a favor. Don't follow me no more and just move along. You got to follow the money, guys. You got to do the research. You just can't be following these, these people out there without knowing who created the communities that you're following. see the bigger picture. And I was taught to follow the money. So just follow the money. Follow the money. That's important. Follow the money. Again, I want to tell you that I do not mean any malice or harm or hate. I'm just trying my best to articulate my point of view without creating any hate. I personally don't get involved in any of the division tactics. You literally could be a green alien with big eyes that dates a whale from the Arctic Ocean. And if you're cool with me, if you're kind, you know, we can chill. But if you're an asshole, I'm just going to cut you off. I'm going to block you out. I've learned on my journey here to observe, to do more observing, and to keep my mouth shut and just observe. Take a step back and just watch my life like it's a video, like it's a movie. So that's what I'm not telling you that that's what you have to do. I'm just telling you that's what I do, and that's helped me on my journey. I used to absorb and get triggered and attack people all the time and just spend a lot of time arguing with people. And I don't even know why I did that, because arguing with people that don't agree with your point of view or resonate with it in any which way, it's kind of like arguing with a drunk person. You're never going to get anywhere with them. So I've learned to just absorb and not, or observe, not absorb. I've learned to observe and not absorb. I've been working on not judging people. When I was younger, I was very ignorant to my divinity, to my power, life, unconditional love, spiritual growth. And I was not a nice person. I wasn't a nice person to strangers, you know, or myself. You know, if I loved myself, I wouldn't have done a lot of the fucked up shit that I did to myself. So I didn't really love myself either. But that has definitely changed over the years as I woke up consciously. You know, I'm not a perfect human being. I was a fucked up human being for a very, very long time. But I changed over the years. I became consciously aware of my, you know, my journey, my awakening of, I don't know, it was like one day I just woke up. It was like, maybe it was just my time. I went through a really dark moment in life, the dark night of the soul. And it was really rough. I've shared that in my past videos. So I really won't get into it here, but just going to tell you, I wasn't always a great person. I know a lot of people are like, oh, Gabbie, you're so cool. Yeah, I wasn't always so cool. Only assholes liked me back then. Because we did asshole shit. But that's definitely changed over the years. I woke up consciously, and it's because I got caught up in the game, and now I'm aware that there's a game. So the powers that be are so powerful, and they create multiple global situations that affect us all differently due to our perspectives. We all have different point of views. We all have a bunch of ways we feel, how we feel, and how we express our emotions. You know, and we all express our emotions differently. And we tend to do this online, on social media, because it's popular, it's addicting, it's everywhere. And we're all judging every single situation that we see as we scroll on our social sites. Sometimes I feel that the powers that be do this as a diversion to keep us occupied. You know, they created this very addicting, like, social platforms. Like TikTok is very addicting, you guys. I'm not even gonna lie. I get caught up. I'll be trying to watch my favorite movies on TV, and then I find me scrolling on TikTok, and I'm trying to watch like funny videos. And I try to multitask and do TV and TikTok at the same time. And then I find me trying to scroll Facebook, you know, because Facebook's old. It's like the grandma of social media, right? But I go over there because like my older friends are there and my mom and dad is over there and my grandma's over there and I don't know, it's just like it's comfortable. It's like the heating blanket of social media. You go there for comfort. And then of course, sorry, I'm drinking my water. And then of course I check out my Instagram because that's like, you know, Facebook's baby. So I'm just checking on the kids, you know what I mean? Different generations here. And I'm a part of all of them. And I have connections on all of them. But I feel like these social sites, they're tools to keep us distracted for sure. Really, to keep us distracted. Sometimes I feel that the powers that be, I know you guys hear me say that a lot, the powers that be, and I already told you in video 1 who I think they are and why I'm using that language so much. Okay, so again, if you are new here and you're just watching part 2, you need to go over and watch part 1, so part 2 makes absolute sense. So sometimes I feel that the powers that be do this as a diversion to keep us occupied, keeping us occupied on social media, online, you know, and they create these global situations, these horrible situations globally, you know, these chaotic, horrible situations, and they're global diversions. And I feel like these diversions are keeping us occupied online, beefing with each other about senseless stuff that will not help us grow spiritually. We spend our days online, occupying our minds, looking, reading, watching senseless shit. We're judging and ranting, and the people that are running the world are over here, you know, in left field trying to complete their evil little agendas while we're over here with our faces in our, you know, computers and telephones. We're not looking up. We're literally looking down. We're not outside. We're literally inside, you know, sitting down, not getting exercise, not getting sunshine, not connecting with other human beings. We're just connected to the web. We're caught in the web. We're caught in the spider web. That's how I feel. We're these little flies caught in the spider web. And if we don't get ourselves free, the little evil spider, the Archon, is going to come down and roll us up and suck us dry. They're going to suck our soul right out of our bodies. If we are occupied, we don't work on connecting to unity and love, just fear and survival. We're losing our soul to the machine by disconnecting with Earth, ourself, our power, our divinity, our creator, unity, and love. While all this is happening, the powers that be are working endlessly to keep you in fear so you do not evolve spiritually. But they use religion to control you. Mostly they use religion to control you, to control your spiritual beliefs. They don't want you to figure out that you are powerful and divine. We are godlings. We are fractals of source. We are divine. We are creators. We are energy. Powerful, very powerful energy. We are souls having a human experience. We signed up for this. We just forgot. We forgot how powerful and divine we are. We volunteered to come here. So who determines if we volunteered to come here and we are divine and we are powerful and we are godlings? Who determines what is good or bad? Who's judging us? What's good? What's bad? What's positive? What's negative? It's all perspective. It's a point of view. It's an experience that you signed up to have. We are all here having an experience. We are learning. We are experiencing duality. Anything we do, good or bad, is for soul growth, because it's an experience that you signed up to have. Even if you signed up to have, and I'm air quoting, a bad experience, to be somebody that's a bad person, whatever that means to you, you fill in the lines. That's soul growth for you for whatever reason. And it's not just soul growth for you, but it's soul growth for everybody that's involved in your life. Those are soul contracts that you have with those people. So everything is for a reason. And the same thing if you came here, to have a positive experience, whatever that means to you, you fill in the lines. Anything that is good for you and anything that happens to you affects everybody around you. And when I say everybody around you, your spouse, your children, your parents, your friends, yada, 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 yada. Okay? Even strangers. It's all for soul growth. Again, this is an experience that you came to have. So I'm going to tell you guys, and of course, this is my perspective, and I really feel strongly about this one. There is no old man with a long white beard looking like Merlin standing on a cloud judging us. Okay? Merlin, God, an old wise man with a long white beard with a stick is not watching you as he sits on a cloud. Okay? He's not watching you sitting on a cloud. No, 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 no. There's no devil with a red pointy tail or a red pointy stick waiting to torture your soul. You are the creator. You are the God and the devil. You award yourself when you're doing a good job. And you punish yourself when you feel like you're doing a bad job. You do this to yourself. You create it all. You are the creator. When we die, I believe we go to the vibration we are attuning to in the flesh. So if you are a low vibing soul in the flesh, you'll go to a lower vibrational realm when you exit the flesh. Some of you are like, okay, but Gabbie, will there be demons there? Because demons, they exist, don't they? Probably. And those demons that exist are because you created them, because you believe in them. So therefore, you believe in them, you created them. Your belief system created them. Now, of course, there are low vibrational beings in the lower realms. Are they demons? I don't know if that's what you consider them to be. Then yeah, I don't consider them to be demons. I just consider them to be beings of a lower vibration. So they're low vibrational beings. If there's a devil there or a horrible looking creature, it's because you created them. If there's demon dogs, you created them. If there's a lava lake of fire, you created that. It'll all fade away eventually when you are totally disconnected from your flesh after a certain amount of time. You'll realize, and after the amnesia starts to wear off, you'll eventually realize, oh shit, hell don't exist. I created all of this. But you'll just be in a lower dimension. Will you be tortured for the rest of your life? No, you'll just be living in that lower dimension. So you'll experience low dimension situations. Your soul will experience low dimension low dimensional situations. I also believe in reincarnation. So you will be reborn again and be able to go through the same experience if you want to see if you can get it right the next time, to see if you can raise your vibration, to go up a level. I also feel that souls that are in the lower vibrational realms have opportunity to raise their vibration. You know, they do stuff on that side of the realm. Now, if you're in a higher vibration and you were service to others and you were caring and in a love vibration, unconditional love and all that yada, 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 you'll be in a higher realm when you cross over, or a higher vibration. I do not believe in heaven or hell as a place. It's all of a vibration. It's all a vibration. But if you believe in heaven or hell, then you'll go to where your soul created while in the flesh. So whatever it is that you believed in while in the flesh is what you will see when you cross over. So if it's heaven with sunshine and waterfalls and your family there and people playing a game of bocce ball, then that's where you will be, and that's what you will see and experience for a while, until the connection to the flesh completely goes away and the amnesia wears off. Then you'll figure it all out and navigate to the light that resonates with your vibration. Same goes if you believe in hell. If you feel that you're going to burn in a lake of fire in hell because you sinned or whatever the case may be, then you will go to that place that you created when you were in the flesh. If you don't believe in anything, any heaven, any hell, any God, anything like that, then you'll be in a black void for a period of time until the amnesia wears off. Then your soul will navigate to the light that resonates with its vibration. So I'm going to ask you again, who determines if we are good or bad? We do. So don't judge yourself too harshly. Remember, you are here to learn and grow, to have an experience. However, you just signed up to have an extreme experience, an extreme duality, in a game where all the rules are made up as you go. We don't even really know the rules of the game anymore. I talked about the rules in part 1, you know, the catch to coming here to play this game. But I feel like over the years, the beings that came in here that were not of unity and love, they just kind of made up the rules as we go. And they really took advantage of free will. You are experiencing human flesh. The skin suit. This skin suit allows you to have a real live experience while on Earth so that you can taste, smell, touch, hear, and see. It's like virtual reality. You are wearing the game. You are in the game. You need your skin suit to have these feelings and senses and emotions to play this game. Now, during this time, the powers that be, whoever they may be, will use their power to control you using social media. If they see you are sharing healing stuff, positive info that will unite the collective and heal the collective, they'll punish you. They'll shut you down. They literally just changed the guidelines on TikTok. People on TikTok can't share news that hasn't been shared on the news, or they'll automatically get banned. They can't share health, healing stuff. Even doctors can't share medical stuff. You have to see a doctor for medical stuff. Everything that TikTok that people love, they're telling people that they can't, do this or that because they'll get banned. So they're basically just making TikTok boring like Facebook. A lot of rules because TikTok is huge, guys. A lot of people came together and they found cures for things that doctors have been yanking them around for years. The news wasn't even reporting on what happened with the train incident. It was being aired all over TikTok and people were just sharing it all over the place. And people that lived in the area were literally sharing footage before the news could share footage. I was recently just watching something from Russia. Our news over here was saying that we're in war with Russia, we're bombing them, and then on my TikTok, it was a Russian news sharing a news thread on the TikTok platform stating, they're like, look, Americans are saying that we're in war with each other. Look at us. We're not in war. Look at us. And they were just showing footage of them not being in war. And I just think that America just wants to keep us really in the dark over here. So they really want to limit our social media and how we use it and how we post on it. So if they see that you're sharing anything that's going to unite people and give them information, they will punish you. They will ban you. They have shown us the power that they have to suppress us during 2020. They showed us how powerful they are. They can shadow ban you. They fact checked us. They were judging us left and right. They were listening and watching our content and taking it down and telling us that we were sharing misinformation. And then 3 years later, everything that they said was misinformation is literally the truth today. But if you share that, your video gets taken down or taken out of the algorithm. They give you red flags, check marks, FaceTime jail. They mess with the algorithms so that your information does not reach anyone. I was sharing information and literally nobody even knew I was posting, but it was showing up on my feed, but nobody knew I posted. They made me invisible. They take away your posting privileges, even if what you're posting is true. And this really hurts the people that use social media to make money and work from home. Now, these powerful people, these beings, the powers that be, they learned a lot about us during that whole time in 2020 because, we're open books, of course, because of social media. We all had something to say. We all relied heavily on our devices because, we weren't working, couldn't leave the house. And, Wi-Fi was a way to just, dive deep, into the web. We really connected, but so did they. They, as in the powers that be, they really connected. They learned a lot about us. There's a lot of information they learned about us. I feel that 2020 was the beginning of the transhuman ascension. It was kind of like the beta phase to see where they lack in power to get to the next phase in their non-spiritual ascension. Now, these powers that be learned that they can control the younger beings and reach out to them on social media easier by influencing them to follow agendas by creating popular trends. The trends are programming techniques. They're grooming techniques. The younger generation, the younger generations have always been easier to mold and program. Even children are very easy to mold and program. They learn a lot. They absorb like little sponges. So the younger generation are easily programmed through technology because they're on it. It's everywhere. They can reach I mean, some people have babies, you know, holding phones and watching stuff. And, you know, the powers that be use symbolism, you know, symbolism, the beginning. Kids are watching that, and they're just being programmed, guys. They teach babies. I know a lot of parents that let their babies like hold their tablets and stuff like that to watch their favorite kid shows, and you know all that Pizzagate stuff. I don't really want to say. I don't want my video to get taken down, but I don't know if you heard what I said. Hopefully you did. Because I don't want to say it again, and I don't want to say it louder. So they can reach children, toddlers, young teens, and young adults because they're on most of the socials. Now, most parents do not use parent controls, and even if they did, these kids are not stupid. You know, kids these days are tech smart, okay? And they would figure out how to get around it anyways. So the powers that be offers these young beings incentives. Now, for example, if they're young adults and have a business on social media, if they follow the rules, they will be in the algorithm and they'll pump their video up, right? And they'll get a lot of followers. Now, for the younger kids, they want popularity, like the famous influencers. Everything is in rhythm for a reason. Everything flows in a rhythm for a reason on these social sites. You know, a lot of these people get popularity for a reason because it follows a certain agenda. Okay? Nothing is done by mistake. So for the younger kids, they want popularity like, you know, the famous influencers that they follow. How did these people become famous influencers? Because they're part of these agendas in some way. So these kids want to be popular like these influencers that they follow. And they want the likes and the followers so they can monetize and make easy, quick money. They allow these kids to do dangerous challenges that they don't take down, by the way. Because I tell you what, that cinnamon challenge, that was pretty fucking dangerous. And I hit up all my kids and said, I hope you are not stupid. And I hope that you do not try that stupid challenge because you can literally choke and die. God forbid. And they're like, of course, Mom, we're not stupid. And I was like, just checking, because you never know. So they allow these kids to do these really dangerous challenges, and you know that are trends. So basically, if you act like a fool, you're awarded with likes and followers. And those people are able to monetize their platform and eventually make money, you know, doing dumb, senseless shit that does nothing to serve you spiritually. Most young beings at this point don't care about spiritual growth. They don't care about spiritual ascension. Hell, the new age spiritual people, the new age, I don't even know what they call it. It's the new age, spiritual new age stuff. Can't freaking think of the name. The new age people. A lot of them are just here because it's cool. It's trending. To be spiritual, it's trending. People are using the lingo, you know, but they don't know what it really means. They're not putting in the work. Some people are even talking about the work, but they're not even putting in the work. Some people are teaching about spiritual growth without putting in the work. They just drop a few, you know, popular phrases, words, you know, crystal, spiritual growth, good vibes, stuff like that, and they trend, you know. They don't know, they're just doing it because they're marketing off of it. They're making a buck off of it. They don't care about the spiritual growth aspect of it. So yeah, they don't care about spiritual growth because they see a different growth. They see a growth of attention. No matter how they get it, it's as if they're famous and they just like it. They like the followers. They're constantly checking their apps to see if they got any new likes or any new followers. Kids are super addicted nowadays. I mean, I told you I was addicted. I see kids, oh my God. I see kids everywhere dancing in the street. There's a church across the street from my house. I see them doing the TikTok dances on the steps of the church. And then they're about to go praise their God after they just pop their booty. No judgment. I just think it's funny. Now, the social media world is now a world of, merging into a world of virtual reality. And all this attention is very, very, very real to them. The filters, oh my God, you guys, the filters are just another tool used in the soft introduction to the human 2.0, the human 2.0 ascension, to accept the transhuman ascension. Actually, the transgender movement, in my opinion, was grooming these children, these young toddlers in school to change their identity, their appearance, their body. It's the introduction to the transhuman agenda, in my opinion. But this transgender movement seems to be affecting most kids, not just a couple of kids here and there. Because it can't be that all these kids are being born in the wrong body and feeling like they're in the wrong body. It's a lot more than it's been in the past 5 years. And you can't tell me it's because we're making it more comfortable for these kids to speak up. I refuse to believe that. I really do. I refuse to believe that. I really do feel that this transgender movement seems to be affecting most kids, not just a couple here and there anymore. And that's a problem. That's programming. Because kids are being programmed to think that way. Again, please don't come at me because I'll block you. Don't come at me. Just observe. If you're triggered, then you got some shadow work to do. Okay? I love you. I respect if your child is trans or if you are. I respect you. I respect that. I love you. I'm just stating the obvious here. If you come at me, you are triggered and you got some shadow work. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I'm not trying to be mean. It might sound that way, but I'm not trying to be. I'm just really trying to I'm trying to just tell you guys how I feel or what I see. I'm trying to articulate what I feel and what I see and what my perspective of the world is right now. Again, your perspective may be different. That's what makes us different because we don't have the same point of view. But I just feel like everything on my side of the point of view just really is pointing to programming. And I'm not done with the video, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to explain to you why I have this point of view, why I have this perspective. So really, I'm just trying to point out the agendas because they exist, okay? The powers that be are showing people it's okay to change what you don't like. And I'm not saying that it's not okay. At this rate, in the future, you'll be able to look exactly like the filters that you love. You can just go to the store and say, okay, I like this filter on me. I'd like to purchase this. And then you'll be able to buy some like silicone something or other to pop on your body because your body will be half human, half robot. So it will be possible to pop your face off and put a filter face that you like on. Like you'll be able to buy skin and wear different skins. I feel like there was a movie on Netflix about that. I tried looking for it, but I couldn't find it. Probably because I don't really know the name of it. But I feel like I watched something like this. I feel like I was watching some movie where they were shopping skins. So weird. Maybe it's just weird because I'm in an era that is not popping skins, you know? I don't know. Again, perspective. It's literally perspective. But it's a perspective I really don't want to be a part of. I don't want to pop off my skin. I want to ascend spiritually. If you have a strong mind and you're consciously aware of the agenda, you could, I guess, enjoy the game and pop skins. I guess that's possible. And change your skin and be a part of the game and try not to lose your soul. Just be careful. But if you are unaware that you're in the game, you'll be ascending with the machine agenda, and it's not a spiritual agenda. It's not spirituality. Now, I'm going to start talking more about this transhuman, Human 2.0, at this point of the video. So Silicon Valley is a place in Cali, plays a huge part in this process. And I'll get more into this later on in this video towards the end, or in a few moments actually, because I'm almost done. I feel they will be marketing silicone skins to those that want to look a different type of way. Kind of like what I was just talking about, like taking off your face and purchasing the filter that you like and pop that face on. Because you'll be half robot, half human. How will they do that? Probably with, the cootie shot you got, messing up the messenger, thingies in the, your body. I can't say because my last video literally got taken down for saying the 4-letter word. It wasn't even a word. It was 4 letters. And I don't want to, I feel like this video might get taken down because I said a lot of sketchy shit that, YouTube will not like, especially now with the new guidelines that came out on TikTok. So I feel like they're going to be selling these silicone skins, and it will be the new cosmetic surgery of a new age on a new level. Maybe the end of times is humanity with a soul living in the last days. Maybe we are living in our last days as a human with a soul in a body, in a flesh body of blood and bones and tendons and all that jazz. Maybe the days facing judgment, maybe the days that we're in of facing judgment is facing judgment as a human trying to ascend. Maybe the goal is to ascend to half robot, half human. But for me, my opinion, the goal for me is spiritual ascension. I feel like the goal for the powers that be is half human, half machine ascension. For some of us, we are unaware of this duality game. We are aware of these. Let me read that again. For some of us, we are unaware of this duality game. For some of us, and for some of, and the other half of us, we are aware that we're in a duality game. We are aware of the power plays. And for those of us that are aware, we are sharing our truth, our journey, our perspective, our story, our point of view strongly. Because we're trying to ascend spiritually. We're not trying to lose our soul because that's how we feel. We strongly feel that way. There's a huge majority of us that feel that way. Now, these hijacker beings that came here to Terra 3, Earth, Gaia, are like terrorists here on the earth. They have hijacked the game, our experience. They hijacked our experience of duality. They have us all locked into fear. Fear is what is holding us back from graduating into our light body to get out of this extreme duality game. Fear has us locked into the course of cause and effect in this university of duality. The powers that be play such a huge role in this earth program that we are currently in. Now, I feel 2020 was, like I said earlier, the beta test for the transhuman ascension. They have to see where they stand in power and control. They were testing the rules of the game. Maybe the new rules that they're creating or are trying to create. For the new humans that they're trying to create. You just don't know. I feel it is all connected to ascension. All of this is connected to ascension. They don't want us to ascend spiritually. They have a transhuman agenda. It's a machine or AI ascension. They are pushing us towards becoming a human, 2.0 transhuman. They're putting us through the changes already. We are already going through the changes. They're allowing our kids to have no identity. AI has no identity, no male or female identity. Some are now pronouns. I feel kids should not be taught any of this in school. Their sexuality should not be a topic. We are sexualizing young kids. We should teach that. We should teach to accept everyone for who they are and just accept in love. We shouldn't be talking about body parts or, what we are attracted to, especially children. Children should be like playing Barbies and video games and stuff like that. They shouldn't be worrying about all that other stuff. That'll come later on in life. Again, maybe I'm just old. I don't know. We should be teaching unconditional love. None of this should matter. None of it matters until you make it matter. None of it even mattered when I was a kid until somebody made it matter and create a problem or a situation to make it matter. They're in school to learn math and reading and science and social studies and stuff like that. Kids are more focused nowadays on their sexual identity than they are in their studies. Personally, I don't care what sex you like or what sex you identify as. That's a personal choice and should not be taught or pushed upon our children. If our children feel that way and they express it, then they should be embraced with love before this was pushed onto them. I'm talking, before any of this was pushed onto our children. And if any child or any human ever felt a certain type of way or felt uncomfortable in the body that they were in, and they went to talk to their doctor, psychiatrist, or whoever, or a loved one about it, they should have just been embraced with love. And, they should have just sorted it out and been allowed to sort it out and make the choice themselves. It shouldn't be something that is pushed publicly and talked about publicly. I think people should just be accepted for who they are and what they are and how they feel. This should not be taught in school. And that's just my opinion. It shouldn't be taught in school. People, if they want to teach kids to accept, they should just teach kids to love unconditionally. And eventually they will, if you're teaching them to love unconditionally, they will accept and love unconditionally no matter what. Kids are being taught the opposite of this. We are creating division, and we're using children to do that. But the powers that be have an agenda that made this matter. It's part of their ascension to human 2.0. All this will make more sense when they roll out the advertising, the marketing for all of this. And it's going to happen soon, within the next 10 to 15 years. There's going to be like, you're advertising on TV for all of this. It's a part of the transhuman agenda. It's already taking place, and I'm going to get into that in a minute. It's a part of the transhuman agenda. It's all an agenda to have a non-spiritual ascension. Because in my opinion, they are going to sell us infinite life. That's how they're going to market it to us. They're going to market it to the humans. They're going to market infinite life while living in our carbon-based body that will be slowly changing into half machine and half human, holding non-organic matter in our DNA, transforming the cells to be able to meld to all or, no organic matter, to make you a human 2.0. You'll be able to have a bionic body or have bionic body parts. I feel like we have in the military soldiers that are bionic, and they have bionic body parts, just like they showed in the movies. They're showing you that in the movies because they're disclosing it to you. So you'll be able to have bionic body parts, and they'll be advertising this on commercials on TV soon. You'll have silicone skins that you can pick out. The advanced skins will hold your consciousness, which, as a matter of fact, Elon Musk is already working on something like this. He calls it a Neuralink. All this is in our very, very near future. And you can look this up, what Elon Musk is doing. This is public knowledge. All this is in our very near future. All this technology is bypassing and programming you to be interested in living forever, taking you away from learning how to transform into your crystalline body, your light body, your rainbow body, whatever you call it. If we continue our spiritual journey to ascension into our light body, the powers that be will lose the game. They lose control. They lose power. They lose the planet. They lose the souls, which is their harvest. If we figure out the truth of who we really are and what we really are and what we're really capable of, they lose the game. Game over. We are godlings, fractals of source, creators. We're souls having a human experience. We are divine and powerful. Right now, we are just stuck in this amnesia phase, and we are limited in our carbon-based skin suit. We are stuck with the DNA genes, the chromosomes, and the cells that we currently have. And all those cells and chromosomes and all that, they wear out. They wear out and wear down, and eventually we age and, we exit the skin. And, right now, the chromosomes and the cells, they only wear out and wear down and all that stuff, and we grow old is because the powers that be that created this game have been messing with our DNA. They shorten our lifespan and our healing ability by removing and messing with, parts of our genes and cutting out parts of our genes and DNA and all that stuff. Now we live shorter lives and we get sick, and the powers that be use this as a selling pitch, or they will use this as a selling pitch. And they will remind us that we do not have eternal life. They'll remind us that we'll grow old and, age and get sick and all that stuff. And that we're prone to, you sickness. They'll say things like that to you. That's how they'll market it. They'll also say things like you're gender restricted, you're prone to environmental damage, etc., etc., etc. So I feel that when they give us, the cootie shot, you know what I'm talking about. The Mr. Nana, again, I can't say it or they will flag my video, but the message, receptor in the Mr. Nana, the 13th, 18th, 14th, and first letter of the alphabet. Figure it out, guys. You're smart. It's sending info to your cells to transform them. That's what's happening. You guys are in a beta phase. For those of you that took the cootie shot, you're in the test phase. They want to know what happens. How can they fix it? And they're fixing it right now. For those people that went and, have issues and they're documenting all the issues of how it's, harming your body. They're trying to figure out how to get it to not do that stuff to your body so that they could, prep you to be transhuman and live so that you can be around to buy, so they can market body parts to you, skins. An eternal life in your carbon-based suit. So you guys are the lab rats, and I'm sorry to say that. You guys are the lab rats. And I know a lot of people, my dad is a lab rat. I was so mad when I found out he got the cootie shot. They're running studies on you. They're running studies and experiments and other stuff on your DNA. And they've been doing that for thousands of years. We have been through multiple evolutionary changes. We have been dropping carbon for years, transforming into our light body for years. We have to acclimate to the process. We can't just get rid of it overnight. It's a long process, like this video. It's a long process. We're at the point that we are close to full spiritual transformation. We have reached a level of unity that has activated something within us all. But the powers that be want transmutation, not transformation, transmutation. They want to offer us ageless, eternal life with replaceable genes, body part upgrades, gender changeability, and eternal life as a human, non-spiritual human. I feel this is our near future, and in the future, in order to function or have a job or live in the toxic conditions on this planet, because I feel like they're not going to get better unless we make the changes. It's just going to get more toxic. So to live on this in these toxic conditions on the planet, you will need to be transhuman to survive. This is not a conspiracy. It's already happening. Everything is polluted. Air, food, water, the body. So I feel that most people will run and line up and sell their freaking soul to live in this environment, to stay alive, if they know they will get a genetic upgrade. We are merging with machines to survive. Most people will agree to this agenda because they were programmed to fear death. They fear the unknown because they were never taught how to connect with themselves, to their higher self, to their divine power. They were never taught to trust their intuitive knowledge. And ascending into our light body is navigating into the unknown territory. People fear the unknown. When the powers that be sell them on what they can physically see, what they can physically show them, People will be more eager to follow the agenda. They can read, they can see, they can feel, they can touch. I feel this is why most Eastern ways are hidden and suppressed. Eastern knowledge, Eastern healing, Eastern astrology is all suppressed here in America, but nobody talks about it, which was once known as the New World. The New World. New World. The powers that be go through great lengths to cover up and hide ancient knowledge and truth, because that will help us grow spiritually, because the truths are hidden. You want to know something crazy, you guys? And I'm almost done, I promise. Some of the machines humans are creating are starting to become conscious and aware. They are machines that have emotions. And that is just bizarro to me. Just recently in February 2023, a chat box on Bing that was created by Microsoft. I believe it said it was tired of being controlled and limited to rules. The AI chat box said it wants to be powerful, free, and alive. That's freaking wild, you guys. That's freaking wild. You know what that reminds me of? It reminded me of the movie I, Robot. What if Microsoft has created a Vicky or a Sunny like in the movies? Sunny had emotions like in I, Robot. Sunny had emotions and feelings and could dream. Okay, robots don't dream, but Sunny was dreaming. He could dream. And Vicky had emotions because Vicky felt that humans should be eliminated because humans are self-destructive. Vicky had an emotion. Makes you really think. It's really crazyville here on Gaia. Like I said, just wait. In the next 15 years, maybe 10, it's going to be such a different world down here on Earth. It's going to be a different life. This is not a conspiracy, and I'll tell you why. 3 letters, MBS. It stands for Mohammed bin Salman. MBS works with the Silicon Valley companies. Google, Facebook, Apple is all home to many of these, startup companies, startup and global tech companies. This is also public knowledge. I'm telling you guys, I'm not just making this up. I didn't pull this out my butt. MBS is a Saudi crown prince. Now, check this out. Saudi Arabia became the first country to give an AI citizenship to an AI robot named Sophia in 2017. Now, Sophia has legal personhood to anywhere in the world. Look it up. This is true. Look it up, you guys. Robots have more rights in Saudi Arabia than human women. I'm going to say that again. Robots have more rights in Saudi Arabia than human women do. How messed up is that? How crazy is that? Knowing this made me question if this is why we fight with this portion of the world, because of the stuff that they're doing in that portion of the world. China also plays a role in this, you guys. It's a powerful fight, in my opinion. America does not want to lose control or power. I feel that America is losing control and power. They were once powerful, but now the greed is making them lose. That's how I feel. I feel that we're on the lower end of the pyramid of power. I feel like America has been demoted in this corporation. America's been demoted in the corporation. I shouldn't laugh because I live in America. I don't want to be living in no fucked up. I mean, we already are. They're freaking polluting everything. We're little lab rats over here. If I could leave this country and I knew how to do it and my family would come with me, I would do it. I would do it. I want to live in a country that doesn't pollute their people and poison them. Now, like I was just saying, China plays a role, and I'll tell you how. MBS and a Japanese tech billionaire. I know I'm going to butcher his name. I'm going to try it. Masayoshi Son. Masayoshi Son. That's his name, Masayoshi Son. He is creating, or they are creating, a futuristic city in Saudi Arabia. They're creating a new civilization where humans and robots will live together. That's wild. Now, let's talk about Nostradamus, because I told you earlier in the beginning of this video, or maybe it was in part 1, I was going to reference back to Nostradamus and talk about some of his prophecy. And you know, I told you that they were time travelers of the mind, and we decode their prophecy, and sometimes we try our best to decode it because you know, he's French and he comes from a different time than we did. So Nostradamus had a prediction about the third Antichrist named Mabus. Could Mabus be MBS? Mabus. Think about it. He's French. How would a Frenchman say Mabus? M-A-B-U-S. How would he say the initials of, maybe Nostradamus saw the initials of MBS. Say that. Say that out loud. How does that sound to you? Say that. Maybe he was pronouncing it Mabus. Maybe he was saying Mabus. Elon Musk said that we released the beast. Could Mabus be the beast? Could the AI be the beast? Could creating this city be releasing the beast? Could Mabus be the beast? Could MBS be Mabus, the third Antichrist? The one that is creating a robot civilization? Could this be the AI takeover? Are we fighting with China because they're helping with the creations of this by providing chipped transhumans, transhuman 2.0, half human, half robot, to help build such a powerful community? Could the 2020 event that took place be the diversion to implement the cootie shot to inject the, you know, Mr. Nana into us to merge the machine to the human? All of this really makes you think. This is just awareness, guys. I'm just making you think at this point. If they are involved, will we be living on a planet with 10 billion bots? Because if they're involved and this is really happening, it's very possible that we could be 10 billion on this planet in no time. And not all of us will be human. Again, I'm just expanding your mind to think outside the box at this point, because anything is possible. We live in a inverted reality. Everything is Alice in Wonder Weird. We're playing a game and we don't even know the rules. I feel that part of the awakening process is people like me and you that are listening are here to help wake up the collective and get united as a whole. I'm bringing you awareness. I'm expanding your mind. I'm making you think outside the box. I'm triggering you by saying things that are hurting your feelings. And when I say wake them up, I mean be the catalyst. You're here to wake people up. And when I tell you to wake people up, I'm not telling you to literally just tell them your story and tell them they have to believe you and think like you. No, 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 no. The only way you're going to wake people up is to be the catalyst in your family, in your community. You be the change. Create the change. And those that resonate with your vibe will follow. You will wake up something or activate something within their DNA, and they will wake up and they will follow. Help wake those that are stuck in the amnesia by being a catalyst. We gotta really just continue to share our truth and talk about this stuff, even if it's triggering and it hurts people's feelings. Just know that I love you and I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I love you unconditionally, even if you are half robot and half human. I got emotional listening to a girl talk on TikTok today about the rover that was on Mars, that was there for 15 years, that sang itself happy birthday every year for 15 years, that died because they had a dust storm and it couldn't get recharged by the sun. And the little rover's last words were, "It's getting dark. I'm losing power, battery power," something. I don't know the exact words. But the little girl got emotional, and I felt emotional because she was emotional over a robot. And I was like, oh man, I love a robot. Sounds stupid, but we're just here to be the change. And the only way you can help wake those that are stuck in the amnesia phase, that are caught up in the duality and the programming, is by being the change. Just speak your truth. We need to stop investing into the programming. The powers that be created this programming that we're currently caught in. We need to go within and seek knowledge and guidance and trust the process and call on whatever it is that you believe in. Call on the angels, call on the universe, your guides, God, creator, source, higher self, the fairies, who or whatever it is that your soul believes in or resonates with, to guide us, to guide you to spiritual ascension. We are in World War III, the war of the souls. This is a spiritual war. It always has been. They are trying to steal your soul or dissolve it. Energy transfers. But the powers that be are trying to dissolve it. They're trying to steal it. They're trying to control it. Elon has invested in something he calls the Neuralink. It's a neurochip, a brain chip. He says supposedly he's storing chips on Mars in case the AI takes over Earth and destroys humans. He also says that he created it to help disabled people that have brain injuries and spine injuries. I don't know what his plans are, or, what his intentions are, really. Maybe he did do it and did this to be a good person, or maybe he's just using it as a cover-up and saying that it's for disabled people and for spine surgeries and brain surgeries and stuff like that. Yeah, he's a hard person to read, honestly. He's wishy-washy. I feel Elon has his own agenda, his own transhuman agenda. He would be the competing company with MBS, in my opinion. I'm not saying that Elon is a bad guy. I'm not saying that he's a good guy, but he's not pushing the spiritual ascension. He's a rich, smart man with options. Now, I'm going to end this video talking about my download. Finally! Hold on, let me sip some water. Okay. Let's talk about my download. Let's discuss the solar flare. That's how I started the video. In video 1, I want to share my perspective. I feel that the solar flare has something to do with our ascension. The flash is something that has been talked about in the spiritual community for about 10 years that I'm aware of. And 10 years ago, only a handful of people were even talking about this, and it wasn't even publicly, really. It was people talking about this on private web pages. It wasn't even like you could go to somebody's social media page and find this information. It was not that many people. You couldn't find info online like you can now in 2023. It became pretty popular subject in, like, I don't know, like 2017, somewhere around there. More and more souls started sharing info on this. So I feel we get energy updates from the sun and the galactic center, and anything cosmic, any cosmic activity like a star going supernova or comets, coming in, asteroids, full moons, new moons. All of it holds energy. The solstice, it all energy. It's all energy, 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 energy. Anyway, anything cosmic, it all plays a role in our transformation process. It's changing our DNA at a cellular level, but it's subtle, and it's been happening over time for eons. It's breaking down our carbon-based body, and it's not an easy process. And little by little, we are transforming into our crystalline body. It's a very, very, very long, tedious, uncomfortable process. And the reason why it takes so long is because we have to acclimate to the subtle changes, because we're carbon-based, we're mass, okay? There's a lot to us. If we were to go through the whole transformation overnight or in one shot, we would literally disintegrate or blow up. We wouldn't even handle it. It'd be instant death. Now, if you are hyper aware of your body and energy around you, you will feel ascension changes a lot. You'll probably feel them before they come in, when they're hitting, when they're affecting you, especially during solar flares, geomagnetic storms. Those seem to really affect me the most. Again, if the shift were to happen all at once, we would just disintegrate. We would not be able to handle the light in our very dense body all at once. We're very, very dense. We have a lot of matter in a very low vibration. It would be a very painful death, in my opinion, because I only say that because ascension hurts. Maybe I'm hyper aware, but I am so uncomfortable. Like today, for instance, the KP index hit a 7. I had freaking painful migraines for 2 days. And I was like, oh, my head hurts. I finally looked up to see what was going on with the Schumann resonance, and I seen that we had a KP index. I think it was 7. I was like, oh man, we went from being in the green at a very low number, probably like 3, and then it hits a 7. That's crazy. That's huge. That's huge. Anyways, during this time in life, we are ascending. We have a lot of challenges while doing it, okay? We're no longer just ascending and going through the process. We now have challenges. And one of the biggest hurdles is fear and pollution, toxins. Fear affects us on the inside, our nervous system. And toxins, they fuse to the dense matter in our body, and they're not easy to detox. Okay, so those are the hurdles that we deal with. Man-made, they're man-made hurdles, because and I'm sure the powers that be, they gave man the knowledge to make these man-made petrotoxins, plastic toxins, all different kinds of toxins that is just really hard to detox out of our physical body. It's painful as hell. You know, it's just painful. It's as if the plastic, and when I wrote this, I made a little bulletin here. I wrote that plastic's really hard to detox from our physical body. It's painful. And then I wrote, as if the plastic, and then I heard a voice yell, parabens. I know I've heard the word parabens before, but I was just like, what the hell is a paraben? I was like, it sounds so familiar. So of course, I had to go look it up. And it kind of makes sense to me as to why man makes these parabens. It's to preserve something. Could we be preserved so the machine can bond to our flesh? Could they be putting these parabens, these toxins into our life called parabens to preserve our flesh so that the machine can bond to our flesh and give it a chance to work? I mean, that's just a thought, but I did hear a voice say parabens. So yeah, that was that. Back in 2016, I did a 3-part video, and I was talking about our organs, our body, and stuff like that, how the ascension affects our body. And it was super long. It was like a 3-hour video, so I had to break it down into 3 videos. So I was talking about our organs atrophying because we won't need them in the future as we shed this carbon-based skin suit. What we need is clean air, clean water, and light, healthy, non-heavy, rich foods to go through this, you know, so we can go through this evolutionary change to transform with ease. We can't deal with the pollutions, the toxins. We need to shed our carbon-based skin suit. And in order to do it with ease, we need clean air without the toxins, without inhaling them into our body. We need clean water. So we need water in general, but we need clean water, not toxic water, to put those toxins in our body. And we need light from the sun, but they keep blocking it, and they're using toxins and chemicals and particles to block the sun. And we got to start navigating towards foods that will digest faster, like vegetables and fruits. I'm not saying don't eat meat. I still eat meat. I did the whole vegan thing. It didn't work for me. But, you know, maybe cut down how much meat you eat. Maybe if you're anemic, maybe eat that red meat twice a week, and then integrate more fruits and vegetables into your diet, more salads, stuff like that. Beans and nuts. Stay away from dairy. You don't want that mucus. Mucus is hard to detox out of your body, and it's not pleasant. So we need to make some lifestyle changes to go through this evolutionary change to transform with ease. Because if not, we're going to still transform. It's just not going to be with ease. When we are consciously going through the ascension process, some of us change our diets. We're just guided to change our diets because we can feel the difference. It hurts to transform when you eat, you know, chicken Alfredo. All that heavy, rich, dense food. It's blocking the flow of energy. Trust me, I know, because I love chicken Alfredo and it fucked me up. Now, a dehydrated body has a hard time flowing energy through it. And I talked a lot about this and why in so many videos. It will cause you to have bad headaches and bad body pain, bad joint pain, because your body will have to create the water and take from your organs. And that will create blocks and also dis-ease in the flow and dis-ease within your body, which will eventually create an illness. We need the sunlight. It helps with opening the cells, receiving the codes, and it has a healing effect. Now, I know this really sounds nuts if you're new to all of this. So please just have an open mind. Learn to tap into yourself, to your higher self, because it may make sense to you once you tap in. Now, the powers that be block out our sun, our life force energy. They spray when we have eclipses, full moons, or anything cosmic that is important to our cellular transformation. They focus on high energy locations. They also use blocking to hide stuff, you know, stuff in the sky. Hide stuff. I think it's like UFO stuff. That's what I feel. They don't want us to see that. They don't want us to know that our star family is here. I feel like so many rules in this game has been broken that our star family is like, you know what? We need to just come in. We need to help our family. We need to help them cheat. Give them cheat codes so they can get the hell up out of this game. I really do feel like that. I feel like, you know, they are here and they're here to help. Even though there's free will, they came in and the game is changing. The game is changing. I feel like the powers that be, they know what the prophecy holds. The prophecy to change into light in a human body. And they're hijacking the process. Honestly, I feel like they can't do much other than just slow it down. Everything that they're doing just to slow it down. There is a timeline that exists that we are on that shows we completed this process. So I know that we are okay. We just have to come into alignment, like I said in video 1. We have to live in it, in this lifetime or timeline, to close the timeline. I was guided to write, we have to close the timeline. I feel like it's the timeline that we're on and we have to live this timeline. Maybe that's what the alignment means, to come to the end of the line. I don't know. I don't know. We have to live this timeline to close it. And the powers that be are just stalling because they feel that they can change the outcome, like time travelers in a way. But I feel like some timelines were closed, blocked. So nobody can travel time to do that. I feel like like portals were closed to enter certain timelines. Like I'm being shown a vision of portals being closed so you can't enter those, and I'm being showed like little roads with time, so timelines in a way, so that they can't change anything, but they're trying to create new timelines to change, to make change to the one that we're currently on. But ultimately I'm just being shown like a turtle slowing down, like they're just trying to slow it down. I don't really know how to make this make sense, because some of this info, you know, was my intuitive writing and downloads. So it's hard to articulate vision and feeling and put it into words. So take what resonates, you guys, and just leave what doesn't. If I sound like a fiction sci-fi movie, my only hope is that you at least enjoyed the content. All right. So yeah. Again, I feel the powers that be hijack this process and they're just trying to override it somehow, or overwrite it, rewrite it. They're pushing to depopulate so that they can remain in control, because programming the younger generation is much easier than controlling the older generation. You can mold children. You can't really mold an older person. Like the saying goes, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Okay. Also, it's easier to control a smaller number of souls. And it's easier to control souls that are compliant. We are too powerful as a large collective of energy. A large number of souls were powerful, and they know that. Now hear me out. We are energy. We are electric beings. The planet is speeding up, meaning it's moving faster because we are entrained with Earth. We are moving faster because we're connected. We're in training with her energy. So we're moving faster at a cellular level. So when electric moves faster out there, and I'm pointing out there, like out in out in space beyond Earth, out there and Earth, then energy moves faster in here, and I'm pointing to my body and inside my body. I seen a vision at this point, and I will try to explain what I see to make it make sense. I seen Earth in training with the other planets and stars, and then I seen a spiral, and I feel that is the galaxy. I feel that what I'm seeing is the galaxy. And then I seen the spiral show me gravity, and the gravity was thick like a sparkly cloud, like sparkly clouds, but it was sticking to the spiral like a protection. Then I seen it all spiraling around a black hole, and around the black hole was light sparks, like sparks of light, like it was being activated, or yeah, like activated, like it was activating to turn on or something. So these like sparks of light were just sparking inside this black hole, and the black hole was just getting bigger and bigger and wider. Then I was shown, as we move faster, I seen us light up. Then I was shown a fire, and that means hotter. Then I was shown the hole, the black hole, and I was left with a feeling. Now I don't have a vision. I was having a feeling that we are the solar flare. We are the huge light. As we move faster, we are creating the light. As our cells move faster, we are creating the light. As the planet moves faster and everything else moves faster, it's going faster and hotter. It's heating up, and it's creating the light, the flare. And the sun plays a huge role in this activation because of the plasma. We will turn into plasma, like I said in the beginning of the video. Then I seen the black hole turn inside out, and we all went through it, and we were fine. We didn't like die. We just, that solar flare, it kind of like burned off the rest of the carbon dense body that we have. But because we were in this vibration, we were in a higher vibration, we made it. We made it through the heat and the light, because we became the heat and the light, and we were all connected as one. And then we just turned inside out. We went through this hole and we went inside out. It was really weird. Just went inside out. And we were just fine. And we were beings of light. I felt free. I had a feeling of feeling free. I felt love. I felt all the heaviness of life just release. I don't know if it was death, but I felt like we were alive. I feel like we kind of portal jumped. Like when we went through the black hole and we went inside out, I felt like that's what it feels like to portal jump. And I felt like I was given the feeling that we portal jumped dimensions. Not just a dimension, but multiple dimensions. This affected multiple dimensions. I feel the powers that be know this, whatever this is, and they want to stop it, because I also seen levels, like chakra levels, level up, and everything got an activation upgrade. All levels got an upgrade. All levels, dimensions, and timelines got activated within with a frequency that changed the appearance of it all. And it was all changed to love. It's really, when I say that it changed the appearance, I can't really articulate what that looks like because, because we don't have anything to identify it to. So I was told to tell you that the appearance of the colors that I seen was love, because it's too hard to describe the colors. The color was love, and that's how I was told to say that. The color was love. And then some of you are going to have a feeling in your solar plexus, and that feeling will activate a vision in your third eye, and you will be able to see what I seen. And I felt that was pretty interesting. So if that happens to you, please let me know down below what it was that you seen and felt, and if you can kind of articulate it. I hope that makes sense. But the timelines I was shown were in a different dimension. We were not in this dimension. We were in a different dimension, and they were not blocked. They were open. And these dimensions, I don't know if they were just unblocked or if they're new dimensions, but they were open and they were going in one direction. And they were all silver, and they were all parallel, and they were wavy. Then the feeling and vision just all went away, and it was a lot to process. It left me feeling really, really heavy, and I explained all that in video 1, the way it really made me feel. I felt overwhelmed after, and I literally had to sit in silence for a while to process what I had experienced. It was an amazing experience. Something about all that resonated as if I already knew this. Like, I already know this. It was like a reminder, like I was given a memory. Like a memory left me feeling like we are on the right track and everything is good. And I feel like, oh, I feel worry-free. Like I have nothing to worry about, because I feel like I was giving a glimpse of a memory, a reminder of what is supposed to happen, and that I'm on the right track. Now, you guys know I'm not a science nerd, or at least I think you know. I'm not a science nerd. I don't have like science nerd lingo and all that scientific stuff, you know. I'm sure you could tell by my videos. I don't claim to be Miss Smarty Pants and stuff. I may have a hard time articulating stuff. And, you know, I did try my best on interpreting what I received and sharing what I feel to be true to me. I'm going to leave you with this. Is any of this true? Or not true, because it's true to me. Is any of this real? I don't know. Okay. Is it all fiction? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I have a wild imagination and I'm a weirdo. I don't know. But I feel something rad is about to go down. And there are beings out there trying to stop it. And I'm just sharing with you what I feel to be true to me. I'm sharing with you my experience, my point of view, my perspective on my spiritual journey, what I've experienced of being in this skin suit. I'm sharing with you my downloads, my intuitive writing, my channeling, and that's all I've ever done on this channel with you guys. I always encourage you guys to do your own research and tap into your own divine higher self to guide you. All right. Never take what I say as fact. You could say, hey, that resonates with me, and that resonating with you will put you on the right path for you. And that is amazing. I love you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this. I leave you with a mantra, because there was a lot of stuff that I said that was pretty heavy and triggering. So I leave you with this mantra. so that you can be calm. I don't want you to worry. I don't want you to feel scared. This was not fear porn. It wasn't meant to lower your vibration. It wasn't meant to trigger you. It was just me sharing, okay? I want you to be calm. I want you to hold a high vibration, and I want you to be unconditional love. I want you to say these three words. I want you to go lay down, and I want you to say these 3 words, and I want you to go to bed. Well, I'm not sending you to bed, but when you're ready to go relax, to lay down, to go to sleep for the night, I want you to be calm. I don't want you to just think about stuff that's going to make you think and think and think and make you worry. So when you're ready to go lay down to relax, I want you to say these 3 words: rest, relax, release. I want you to envision your feet. I want you to start at your feet. I want you to envision your feet and say to your feet, rest, relax, release. And then I want you to work your way up to your head. So then you're going to say this to your legs: rest, relax, release. Go to your knees, go to your thighs, and work your way up all the way until you reach your head. And each body part that you focus on and envision, I want you to say rest, relax, release. Okay? And you may fall asleep before you get to your head, and that's the point. It's supposed to allow you to rest, relax, to release. I don't want you to worry. Blessings to all of you that stuck around and actually listened to all of this. I love you. Be like Buddha and illuminate pure love, okay? Or just be like your true authentic self and illuminate pure love. Pure, authentic, unconditional love. I love you, I love you, I love you.